This paranormal adventure that we're all on, it connects us. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast with your host, Sean Gilmore. He's worked in the paranormal field for 10 years.
He's a part of 2 paranormal teams.
His passion is creating para-unity.
With your host, Brian Mersel.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 7 years.
He leads his own paranormal team.
He wants to help people start their paranormal adventure or grow their existing one. This is our paranormal adventure. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast.
It's about supporting. It's about making para-unity a real thing, because we all need to support each other within our community, and that's what the show has always been about. Awesome. Well, welcome.
Hello.
I had us hiding behind a picture today, trying new things, welcome to our paranormal podcast. I'm still getting used to saying that. How are you doing today, Brian?
Fantastic. How are you, Sean?
I'm doing pretty good. I had a really good weekend, and this week is showing challenges, but you just keep on going. It looks like it's just us on today, but due to technical difficulties, we shall call it, Erik Knapp, who is our guest, he is on the line. Here is a photo of him, so everyone can at least have a picture of what he might look like, and Brian and I can peek over. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Erik, how are you? You're okay.
Hey guys, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on. How are you?
I'm doing real good. Real good.
Good.
Real quick, before we dive too deep into this, we have this set up because of the technical difficulties. We have Erik on speakerphone. So if you guys have trouble hearing him, please let me know so I can make the proper adjustments. Or if there's an echo, anything, let me know. So, because we have a lot of stuff that we're going to go over, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So,
Yep.
yeah. So, Erik, you come with us. You have a lot of different projects. Like you were kind of talking about it before the show.
Yes. A lot of different stuff going on. A little bit of the past coming back.
Yeah.
And a lot of new stuff. We're going forward with season 3 of Hunting the Haunted, so that's a plus. I'm living in Savannah, Georgia now, so I'm also doing something called the Savannah Experiment, which is something going to be really cool to look forward. It's based on, all Savannah-based hauntings, so it's pretty cool and it's a lot of fun, to do that in Savannah, Georgia, one of the most haunted cities in the country.
That I've heard a lot of stories about Savannah, Georgia. I've literally only been to Atlanta, Georgia, and one of the suburbs of Atlanta. I don't remember what suburb was.
That's about 4 hours from us.
Okay. Nice. I know Atlanta's a nice city, so
yeah, it is. It's very nice. It's big.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's very big.
It's huge, and there's an island. Is it Tybee Island? I want to go there.
That's our local beach here. In Savannah, it's about 15 minutes away from us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's beautiful there. It really is.
Oh, I've been wanting to go there.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really upscale, really nice beach.
Nice.
Okay.
My wife likes upscale, so that'll work.
Yeah. No, but it's really
haunted?
cool. If you want to see people, reeling sharks in off the pier over there, that's where to go.
Nice. Well, we usually do that up in South Carolina. So
Yep.
that'd be cool to do. And you said Savannah's haunted, so my wife gets to do her little thing, and then I can go and do my thing, and that's perfect.
Exactly. There's really so much to do here that it would blow your mind. The history in Savannah alone, there's just the whole city is haunted. Needless to say, it's incredible how many new how many new locations and how many new leads that we get. It blows my mind.
That's awesome. So
Yep.
that leads us to the Savannah experiment, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And just so you know, I'm kind of showing the logos that you sent me too as we're
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it. So
Yep. So the Savannah experiment is basically something, and Stephanie Hutnick, psychic medium Stephanie Hutnick, and myself, my girlfriend, we both live in Savannah, so we both started this experiment. We're starting to film, basically just strictly Savannah, Georgia-based hauntings and local legends and stuff like that. So it's been going really, really well. Nothing's been released yet, but it will be coming out soon. All the editing and all that process.
that's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and that's why I was saying, you don't realize how much places around here have history and have hauntings to them until you start getting these people. It goes and goes and goes.
Definitely.
Mhm.
That is so cool. I mean, down south, especially along the East Coast, there is a ton of European history of the Europeans coming to Americas, and there's a lot of Native American history and so much stuff and so much tragedy too. So it's got to be so cool to live there and experience.
Yeah. And like I said, it's literally in Savannah, downtown, the historic district. It's literally like anywhere you're walking, you're pretty much walking on bodies. That's how crazy it is. They had the huge yellow fever epidemic, which wiped out hundreds of thousands of people, like tons of people. It's crazy. They have a whole graveyard just for that. And it's Colonial Park Cemetery. It's one of the most haunted cemeteries in Savannah.
Wow. See, that's so cool.
Yeah,
Didn't the Tennessee Wraith Chasers do a thing there?
Yep, they did. And they still come here from time to time. And the Ghost Brothers were just here not so long ago as well.
Nice.
They did the Moon River Brewery.
Okay.
Now the Moon River Brewery, it used to be an old brothel and one of the old hotels when Savannah first was constructed. So there was a lot of death in there, a lot of murder, a lot of everything.
Wraith Chasers do a thing there? Sorry about that.
Yep, they do something with Ghost Hunt weekends there, usually once or twice a year.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so they're here quite often.
Awesome. Yeah, so I apologize, guys. A lot of times when I do these shows, I'm trying to share the live feeds and stuff, and I have my headphones on, so when the live feed plays back, usually you guys don't hear my little mistakes. So today you guys get to hear everything. Yay. So man, that is so cool. I mean, where Brian and I live, we live up in Northeast Ohio. There's a lot of neat history up here too, but
Yep, I've been up that way as well. I've had a lot of good things up there. Ohio State Reformatory, I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of other places that I've done up there, and a lot in Indiana. You're right below Indiana, right? Or next to?
right next to, yeah.
Yeah, I've done a lot. Yeah, I've done a lot in Indiana too. But yeah, it's a very cool area.
Indiana has the Monroe House. Have you
Yep,
been?
which I haven't done yet, but it's on my bucket list.
Oh, every investigator needs to do the Monroe House. Brian, have you been to the Monroe House?
Nope.
I'm working on getting Dark Alley into the Monroe House. I just feel like I'm in charge of the team doing the private home and private business investigations. So
Perfect.
I think that the Monroe House, I mean, that's the worst case scenario of a home, and what better way to learn than to go to a place like that? So
I agree. Absolutely.
yeah, so that's my plan. And man, Brian, if I get us in there, you need to come with us.
I'm down.
Same with the Hinsdale House.
Correct.
Yeah.
We need to talk about the Hinsdale House. The reason being is over the weekend, I was at MadCon 3. It was an awesome event. They raised over $10,000 for cystic fibrosis. It was really cool. Dan Klaus was there. And everyone who watched us before knows that we were sponsored by the Hinsdale House. Well, I got it okayed for us to continue on with the sponsorship with our paranormal. So, everybody, please make sure to go to the hauntedhinsdalehouse.com and check out the Patreon page and help out, because all of those donations help Dan make the repairs and upgrades and everything on the house. They've built a deck, they've replaced the front porch, they've put in a whole new septic tank. So much work goes into that house. There's a lot of work that goes into these haunted locations. And I mean, when you have a home even and you're not there, not because Dan has his own home that he lives at with his family. So imagine the upkeep of two homes. So as a owner myself, I couldn't imagine doing that. So that's why the Patreon's here, and that's why we support them. And at the same time, they help us a little bit too. So thank you, Dan Klaus and the Hinsdale House, guys. Make sure to go and check them out. And
Dan's done a really good job with that place too. The place looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it's an awesome place. It's so cool, man. Brian, it's another place I got to get you to, man. It's one of those places where I personally think it's more the land than the house.
Okay.
Yep.
Of the experiences that you'll have there, it's not like anywhere else you'll go.
Yeah.
So I definitely have to agree with you. I've been lucky enough to be there probably about 5 or 6 times myself, and the experiences that I had there were pretty surreal, to tell you the truth. They were crazy.
Change the background.
Yeah, me and Sean need to put together a big bucket list for everyone that's trying to do all the different paranormal investigations, maybe even, separated by state. But I know there's a ton of people out there that are, just getting into the paranormal, and they're saying, yeah, we want to do the small places, but we at least want to have our big, bucket list places. So whatever we can do to help, and the Hinsdale House is definitely on there.
We should do our paranormal podcast tour hosted by your paranormal.
We should.
And our folks too. So you guys know your paranormal, the hat I'm wearing today. This is Brian's team, and you'll see the logo actually up there on top of the screen there, right next to Dark Alley. I help with both teams. I'm a two-timer. I'm a double.
Very nice,
right?
Well, that's really what it's ultimately all about, though. And I got to give you credit, because you don't see a lot of that anymore. I've been doing this for about 26 years now, and that's how it used to be back in the day. But now everybody's kind of fighting with each other and fighting for stardom and fame, and that's not what it's about, So I like that you do that.
Yeah, I've noticed that, and it's all about like who's the big tough guy, right? And it's that's not what I'm about. That's not why I got on the paranormal. I mean, there's so much that we could all learn. Actually, we were talking about the Monroe House. There was an experience I had at the Monroe House, and I reached out to a team because I heard that they had a similar experience to what I had. So I reached out to them on Facebook Messenger, and they were like talking down to me. And they obviously they didn't know me, which is fine. I'm not, this big famous guy, whatever. I don't expect people to know who I am, but it's like I even said in the message, I would like to compare experiences. Maybe we can learn from each other. And they were just like talking down to me like I was stupid. And I'm just like, that's wait a minute. First of all, I didn't ask you for advice. Second of all, let's back up for a second here. And I had to call them out. Like, seriously, that's not what this is about. This isn't about feeling important. It's not about being big and bad. This isn't about taking our trauma from high school and bringing it into our adulthood. It's not what it's about.
No, it's absolutely not. So, to me, it's about the research and ultimately trying to prove to everybody else what I already know exists.
Right.
And that's when I first started. I putting any shows out there or anything like that. I was just helping families, helping business owners, collecting information and research for myself, and not really even sharing any of it. A lot of it was, private cases. And that's how I started out doing it for the first, probably 10 years.
Yeah, honestly, I got into it to do the private cases, to help people, show people that maybe it's not as scary as it seems, and it is possible to live in the same house as a spirit.
Absolutely.
I do it. I don't involve my family into the paranormal, and they live with them. So,
Yep.
Here, Andrea, and it looks like we already responded. That's okay. Andrea said when I first walked in, she's talking about the Hinsdale, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
When I first walked in, I got very ill. I had to step outside for a few
No,
minutes.
it's the Monroe House.
That's the Monroe House?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. We heard voices. A demon came through on the geoport. Okay. So
How do you know?
now the Monroe House, there is something very negative there. But I don't know if I would call it demonic. Maybe interdimensional. But I don't know about if it's demonic. But then again, honestly, in all the time I've done the paranormal, I've only faced something demonic probably once.
Yeah, myself probably about maybe 4 to 5 tops in 26 years.
Yeah. See, so it doesn't happen very often. But what's there is very strong. So I don't want to downplay it. I don't want any of that.
Yeah, you don't know for sure. Yeah.
It's something that is very strong there, and for whatever reason, it's trapped there, and it wishes it can go. That's what I've gotten from my experiences there.
Yeah, no, I'd love to check it out. I'm happy to get up there sometime.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those places you don't want to take lightly, man. And there's definitely something very strong and powerful there. If you piss it off, it'll show you how strong it is, and that's why people think it's demonic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
she said on the geoport, someone asked if it was demonic. She said that they said it was a demon.
Okay. Interesting.
She took it for its word.
Yeah. I think where teams go wrong are like when you, or even just individuals, like if you don't write down your goals for the paranormal, like why you're in it, like if you're trying to prove that there's an afterlife for yourself because maybe you lost a parent or grandparent and you're trying to find some answers, or you had a paranormal past and now you're trying to prove it to yourself that you're not crazy. But also like a mission statement for a team, like what's the goal? Like, are you trying to help others reach their paranormal goals? Are you trying to just positively impact your community? And I think the more and more that like a group will get involved in social media and caught up in the likes and everything, and adding on extra stress, I think that's when you start to see teams say, well, you can't be a part of another team because we have to work on our team, and you have to ignore your life responsibilities and invest more in the group. But if the group is just a passion project that's started to just create a positive impact and help others, I think that's when it gets away from it, because then people are just they forget their goals.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. And it's there's far too much of that these days.
Yeah.
What the problem is too is now per every state there's thousands of teams out there now. There was never this many teams. When I first started in New Hampshire 26 years ago, I was one of 5 teams. Now there's I think over 1,000 just in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a website for teams in Ohio. That list of teams is ridiculous.
Yep, I believe it.
So
yep, and that's where the power trips come into play, because everybody's trying to outshine everybody. And like I said before, that's anybody who's really into it for the right reasons knows that's not what it's about. And that's why I myself, I'll work with any team. I have no problem with that. I work with people all over the country, And I'm no expert by any means. I'm still learning from everybody. I would learn from you guys. I would learn from the next Bob or Joe. I learn from everybody, and I'm not sad to say it.
Yep. And that's why, like, when I started my own team about a year ago, that was the whole gist of it, because I didn't want to be a part of a different team that might become corrupt or become about the likes, and we have to grow this way, and you just stop investigating and you stop having those honest conversations with your team and making sure that they're having a good time on these investigations and they're being fulfilled. And it starts being the drama of, oh, well, they're talking on this podcast, or they're talking with this team, and they're doing like a guest investigation on this team, but what about us? And I just wanted to protect my team from that, saying, we need to do our own thing, of course, positively, just spread para-unity, of course, and nothing but love. But I can't be doing it. That was a college thing. I was part of a college group, and
absolutely.
Yeah, it's it can get rough, man. And when you go, and even if you go to like a lot of the cons, or if you go onto a Facebook group where people are sharing information, or someone posts a picture. Now, here's the thing: people are going to post pictures. I've gone and I've hosted ghost hunts, and I've done ghost walks, and I've helped so many people with these types of events, and people want to share the photos that they've taken, and
they get excited.
I love it. They totally do.
I do too.
Right. They show me pictures of dust, and you know what? I don't say, yeah, you know what though? You're a schmuck. That's a bunch of dust. I'm not. I'm like, oh wow, that looks really neat. Where did you take
exactly?
That?
Yep. I'm the same exact way. The way that I look at it, I think about myself when I first started out, and when I would get an orb, how excited I would get, and you see these people, whether it be at an event or a private investigation or whatever it may be, and they do find something and they post their pictures. And, if somebody wants to say, hey, I found a ghost, by all means, who am I to tell them, no, you didn't? You know what I mean? Yes, absolutely. Make them get excited about it. That's what it's all about. I'm the same exact way.
Yeah, that's for me to judge, and it's the same thing when people post stuff. Now, they're asking for advice or something, then there's a respectful way to do it. But to go and now, if someone posts a video and it's obviously something that's faked, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, that's a whole other.
But it's like people. I don't know. People don't know. Most people don't do this for a hobby or for a living or for whatever they may do. Most people don't. Most people don't want the paranormal. So if they're sharing stuff and they're scared of it, making them feel stupid about it is not going to help their situation.
Nope, not at all. I agree.
So a good job. You were just a bully to somebody who needed help. That sucks.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so much easier to handle internally, though. For example, we had one of my hometown buddies. It was his first time as the camera operator, and he was seeing all this dust, and he's thinking, there's orbs and energy flying around. And, it was a good, learning experience where you can, trying to educate him on the dust and how it reflects on the IR camera. But even like 4 or 5 years back, we were at this giant prison, and someone was in like a room by himself, and he was seeing, shadows, like outside, like going, past like his like cell window, and he was so jazzed up about it. And of course he didn't have the video camera, but it was a personal experience. And he's thinking this is something that he can take with him, because you're most likely never going back there. You had an experience. He's all jazzed up. And I had one of the officers, back in the day, downplaying him, saying that he's just seeing things, hearing things. Like, I don't, and like I said, it's one thing to dispute evidence when you do a big presentation. So like when you're doing a big presentation, that's when you could be a little more scrutinizing and like what you want to show. But if it's just a personal experience, you got to let them have it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You definitely do. You know what? Ultimately, that's what keeps their passion going. They find that little something that they could be something. They're going to get more excited and they're going to get more interested to try to find something else.
Mm-hmm. And if it's not in your group's mission statement, because I feel like everyone's got to have their own goals in the paranormal. I feel like everyone's got to have like their group's mission statement. I mean, if your mission statement is to be very, very scrutinizing about evidence and this, that, at least you're consistent. But I don't think anyone's goal as a team is to, trying to put people down or trying to be that scrutinizing.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, and then people lose sight of that.
Yep, they definitely do.
Sorry, I am sharing still. Trying to multitask. So you shared some links with me here.
Yeah.
From your YouTube channels.
Yep, I gave you 2 different channels. One of them is my personal one, which has a lot of little fun stuff that I've done for a while. Some interesting clips on there. Some fun entertainment stuff to watch. And the other channel that I gave you was for Hunting the Haunted. Like I told you before, we weren't on the air, I don't believe, but for a while, the Hunting the Haunted was on about 4 different networks. So that whole YouTube channel was all private, so nobody could get to it. Now we just opened it up, so it's all public, so everybody can go and watch, the whole first 2 seasons of Hunting the Haunted, and we're now filming season 3. So
awesome!
Wow! So guys, you hear that? Go to the YouTube channel and follow, subscribe, get the notifications, do all that because this is a show that we don't get to watch anymore. I tried to find it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I just learned about this today, so I didn't really get to watch a lot of it. And trust me, after this, I'm going to go and watch it. I'm always looking for some and stuff to watch.
It's really cool. It's really well done, and all the editing and everything, it's all professionally done. The locations we go to are really cool. Some of them are really cool residentials, and some of them are some really cool bigger places. But it's a lot of fun to film because we're able to travel around the country. So we're not just stuck in one neck of the woods. We were kind of bouncing all over the place. Actually having people and networks send us to these places too. So we got to go to a lot of cool places, and we're still going to a lot of cool places. So as long as they subscribe to those channels, they're going to start seeing all the new season stuff as well. So
and
you can see it if you're subscribed to that.
Like you just posted like 28 minutes ago with the 13 deaths in Cedar Keys kind of deal. It's Hunting the Haunted, right?
Yes, sir. Hunting the Haunted.
So, just to confirm, like the last post was like 28 minutes ago with the 13 deaths at Cedar Keys.
No, that's not me. That's not definitely not.
That was Hunting the Haunted. Okay, maybe there's a different one.
There should only be one because trademarked.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not good.
Uh-oh.
Group travel state to state searching for anything paranormal. That's not you.
Not like it. No.
So
did you go to the YouTube link?
Which I am at right now. And actually, the one I have open, it's Christine Part 1.
Yeah, that was really freaking cool, to be honest with you. Do you want me to tell you a little bit about that?
Yeah, please. And then while you're telling us about it, I'll get it ready to do the screen share.
Yeah, and will you post a link? Because when I start Hunting the Haunted, something else comes up.
Oh.
Yeah, that shouldn't be coming up.
No, here, I'll fix it.
So anyways, Christine, that was season 1, I believe, Hunting the Haunted. That's when we first started the show. So this gentleman had gotten in touch with me, all right, and he just purchased the 1955 Plymouth Fury, which was the car from the Christine movie, okay? Now, this wasn't the actual car from the Christine movie, but it was a replica of it. So he had got the car. It wasn't running at all. It had no engine in it or anything. He pretty much brought it home, as a project. So he had it towed home. I forget where he was, across country somewhere. And he stuck it in his garage, and he was going to, start working on it to rebuild it. Now, as he would start rebuilding it, he started all of a sudden seeing this giant man in overalls all over his house. Okay. So all over his house. He lived with his mother as well. His mother was an elderly lady, so she stayed with him too. She even told me about seeing this old man, and none of this started until they brought this car into the house. So upon doing the research and talking to the original of the owner, one of the people who knew the owner of the car, that car was put away. It was locked away in a shed in like a big farmhouse, and it was locked away for about 50 years or so. And the guy that owned it was also trying to restore it, and he ended up passing away. So one of his relatives ended up selling that car to this guy that I met that you'll see on that show. And once he got that car, all sorts of stuff started happening. And if you watch that episode, there's at one part in that, the door handle starts moving by itself. It's nuts.
I never mentioned it to the guy.
So
if you want to see something really cool, involving a haunted object being the Christine car.
That's awesome.
Christine car. You got to go watch that episode. It's a 2-part episode. It was that good.
That is really cool. Actually, one of the places I wanted to go to here in Ohio is it's the Mansfield, Ohio Fire Museum. It's a museum of old fire trucks and firefighter museum, and that's why I want to go there, is because of the potential attachments. And
I can only imagine how many.
Right? That's why, oh man, that would be so cool to me. And that's why I like going to the museums and everything.
Yep. See, the cool thing about me with the Christine car, I was well aware of haunted objects and everything like that, but something of that magnitude, I didn't go in there like I do any place I go. I don't go in there with any high expectations. I treat a place like a place, whether it was a murder in it or anything like that. I walk in and try to forget the history of it and try to come to my own conclusions. So I went into that house doing that, saying, all right, so this guy's got a Christine car. He's obviously a horror fan. So he's obviously, probably building this up a little bit in his head. But no joke, the place was nuts. The whole house was haunted, and it was 100% all based around that car.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. He ended up he had the car for a couple of years. He did restore it to its fullest. And then the brakes let go on him when he was driving it. And the thing got totaled.
Oh wow!
So of course tied that into the car Christine. But I'm like, it's an old car. Brakes are gonna go, But the car ultimately, ended up a total wreck.
Wow.
I feel like you don't restore a car and not have the brakes fully functional. Like, I feel like that's, it's not just like an old car thing, I suppose.
Well, he replaced everything in it, from the engine to the paint to everything.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's what's crazy about it to me. But I mean, it's a really cool episode. It's probably one of my favorites that I've done on that show so far.
Well, here. So I found the New Hampshire Project Paranormal Facebook page.
Yep, that is me. That is actually the first team that I founded back in 2002, which is actually still running today, and my best friend is actually still running it up in New Hampshire to this day. So they're still taking cases, and like I said, we were one of the first of the 5 teams in New Hampshire. So we've been doing it for that long. Very, very good people. They're all run through me, so you're getting taken care of.
That's awesome. That's really cool that they're able to continue like that.
Yep. Well, that was one thing I wanted to make sure. I just moved to Savannah 2 years ago. I've been in New Hampshire my entire life. So one thing, moving on and trying to, branch out a little bit and do something different, I wanted to make sure that my team was going to be, in good hands. And my buddy Kyle Palmer is the one who runs it to this day, and he's doing a great job. So the team will continue to run.
Awesome. Very awesome. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play the intro. And is there any do you know of like any timestamps or anything that I can go to, since I'm kind of doing this live and I'm not?
I honestly don't off the top of my head. No, I haven't seen that in a while.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll just play the intro, and I did get to kind of watch the beginning of this one. So it is really cool, and the car looks cool. So
yeah, it is very cool.
Yeah. So all right, so let's do that.
The only problem with that whole thing is he wouldn't let me drive it.
Oh man, you gotta let us drive. You gotta let him drive the haunted car.
Come on, man.
How can you properly investigate a haunted car unless you let him drive it? I mean,
exactly. That's what I was saying.
All right, here we go.
Erik, thank you for having us over here tonight. I understand that you're experiencing some pretty extreme paranormal activity.
Yes, I am, Erik.
Give me a little rundown about what's been going on around here.
Well, the reason I called you, first of all, was for my daughter.
Okay.
Because of the activity in her bedroom.
Mm-hmm. What's been going based around your daughter?
One night, we put her to bed, and it's about 2 a.m. She just woke up, like, paranoid, like, freaked out, couldn't get her attention, and she starts pointing to the corner of the wall, telling me that I want out. Or we tried to put her back into bed 25 minutes later, she still wants nothing to do with the bedroom. About a couple nights after that, I went out. I get a phone call from my wife saying my daughter is in hysterics again. Does not want any part of the room. Now it's a different part of the corner of the room. Doesn't wants it gone. Does not want to go in almost an hour before she decided to go back to bed.
And so, how old is she?
She is going to be 2 in July.
Okay.
So she is 22 months.
Okay, so not old enough quite to talk and really tell you what's going on.
She's got some words there, but she's got that look like something just scared the heck out of her.
And you would know, obviously.
And it was a dead sleep.
Okay.
It happens once in a while. You hear noise, and there's mats on there in the floor, and it's like someone's walking in there.
Okay.
So we don't know if that's what's scaring her. And I go in there frequently to check on her at night, and I make noise going in there to see if that wakes her up.
Okay.
She sleeps like a rock.
No kidding.
And it's happened to my youngest too, saying he sees somebody walking in the bedroom. So,
guys, I could sit here and just watch this and forget that I'm doing a podcast.
No, it gets better.
Hopefully
all the people listening there who are watching this will go and check it out because it is really cool.
Well, here, I want to go here to where they show the car. Hold on.
Yeah.
And you said that there's a point. You mentioned a point where there. Oh. You said that you guys captured the door handle jiggling?
Weird.
Correct.
There's something very significant
and it
about
is on there. You can see the door handle move by itself. I wish I had the timestamp and I was a little more prepared for you. I'm sorry. But I can definitely get that to you.
Normally, I would be able to do all of this, but it's okay. Well, I just want people to see that, you've got good quality videos here.
Yep.
And I wanted to show. I mean, this is just such a cool story.
This car is something special.
It really is. It was a great story, and that's why I was really excited to work on that project, because the story just gets, it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder, and then you try to think to yourself, how can all of this stuff, be related to this car? And then you see what starts happening, and you're like, wow. And then you find out, what had happened from the people who knew the original owner, and you're like, this makes complete sense now. Obviously this was this guy's pride and joy who passed away trying to rebuild it.
Right, and then it ends up having the previous owner's spirit attached to it. Wow.
Exactly.
So here it is. He looks like he started it, and it's got a red neon. Now I'm gonna play this real quick now I just I think I fixed it, so the audio will be better for the listeners.
Okay.
So here we go.
I know. What did it look like when you first got it?
The hood, the fenders, the roof, and the trunk were completely rotted out. It was his original color, sand dune white. Okay. With the gold factory V, the gold factory grill. Some of the chrome on here, some of the other chrome.
I mean, that's just a beautiful car. And
Yeah.
So when, just to try and to figure this out, I like the license plate that they have on there. Sorry. So
I forget what it is. What did it say?
it says Christine on it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
The portion where the door handle jiggles, is it where the girls are sitting by the car, or?
I to be honest with you, that's a couple of years old. I really don't remember, but it's one part when it's in night vision and it's on the car, but I can't remember exactly what part it is. But you can see the door handle move on the outside of the car.
I found it.
Yep.
It's got a little label here. So here, let's skip to it. And it looks like it's about a minute or so. So we're gonna watch this real quick.
Did you see it move? Because I don't think it had a label on it. The reason why I'm saying that is because after we filmed the whole thing, we didn't even see it until after post production.
Really? Well, I'm
we found it. We found it afterwards when it was all edited and done, and if we put it on a giant screen, and that's when we saw it.
Oh, well, maybe it just heard it. But here, I'm gonna play this portion. Let's see.
Okay.
That'll be about a minute or so. So here we go.
Can you pull the girl's hair? What's that? No, behind me. Someone touched the door behind me.
It said doorknob rattling on the bottom there.
It was like, whoa.
Oh, it did. That's not the part though.
That's what I heard.
Oh,
This.
Yeah, it's 90 degrees by the 66.
This is what I just heard. It's the doorknob. That is what I heard.
it's a different doorknob then. So
It's the one
Can
on
you
the
touch
outside
that
of the
doorknob
car.
again? I know it's probably very hard for you to. You get the energy to do stuff for us. But if you want us to know that you're really here, you have to do something to show us. Do you understand?
Huh.
Looking for the man in the overalls.
Did you put it in the comment section at all to tag it, or?
I don't believe so. No.
That's really cool though.
Yeah. No. There's a point in the video, and I'll find it for you, where the door handle actually moves,
Okay,
and you can physically see it move.
that's awesome. That's
And like I
stuff that
said,
that's why we
it's
do
even
it. Right?
crazier because you didn't see it at the time. Even during the editing process, it wasn't seen until after we watched the finished product, and then we watched it on a big screen, and we're like, "Holy crap! That doorknob just moved." Yeah, it was interesting.
So obviously we know why you started this, but how did you get everyone on board with Hunting the Haunted? Like, where did the idea start, and kind of like logistically, how did it all start?
Well,
Who
we
did
were
you get on board first? And
we were taking cases. This is when I was with New Hampshire Project Paranormal, still founder of it and all that. and still running that team. So, we were getting to the point now where people were asking us to come all over the place. All right.
Mhm.
So people were asking us, to drive to different states ultimately and, make big trips. So, I sat down with my team, and I said, we're getting a lot of people who want to see, the process of things. So I would get a lot of questions like that, how does this all work? How do you guys work? Because all teams work differently and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I said, I came up with the thought, and I'm like, why don't we, show everybody, how we do things and kind of make a little show out of it. And it started out for fun. So, we started putting them on YouTube at first, and then, eventually we ended up getting picked up by 4 different networks, and I believe it's still airing in Canada.
Yeah, because the editing is on point, beautiful.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, so it was, like I said, it was all professionally edited and everything like that, and it was a lot of fun to do, and it's still. Wait for season 3; it gets better.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
So it's nice to be able to like.
I think we just lost Sean and Erik there. Definitely just lost him. But yeah, he's talking about everything that's going on with his show that's all on YouTube, I guess. So people that weren't able to consume it on television itself, you could just go ahead and if you follow like the actual Facebook link that we put, which is like the NH Project Paranormal, and then that'll lead you to the actual YouTube because when I was searching Hunting the Haunted, it was coming up something completely different. So I think we should, yes, thank you, Carmen. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but Sean always has some technology issues every once in a while. But yeah, Erik is fantastic. I think for the last like 45 minutes we've been going over, just in case we picked up some people. We've been going over his 26-year paranormal adventure. Yeah, clearly abducted by aliens. Aliens or ghosts. It's probably a 50-50 split at this point. But knowing Sean, he just won a new Ouija board, and Sean and I are completely different on the Ouija board standpoint. I always say that based on the statistical sample size of people that use Ouija boards, always bad things happen, and of course you could just use them. This is that, but he definitely got abducted by something for sure. Playing with that new Ouija board, 1,000%. I'm just talking trash on you, Sean.
I have a bunch myself.
I apologize, guys. I think something happened with my antivirus. A window popped up for my antivirus, and then my Chrome windows all closed. So sorry about that. ESET doesn't like something that happened. I don't know.
Sean, tell him the truth. You're playing with that new Ouija board. Told you nothing good happens.
You know what I did win though? I didn't win a Ouija board. I don't own a Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
I got a new scrying mirror though.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yes, it's a black.
Something about
mirror, and that I just got notification right before we got disconnected there that they sent it out. So what that is on the Facebook. I'm part of a group, and here, let's see if I can find what it's called. So I'm on this group where you go and it's for fundraising. They started doing it for MadCon 3 and raising money for cystic fibrosis, and we talked about it a little bit last week.
Mm-hmm.
And so you buy like a square, and they do like one of those digital spinning wheels, and the person whose name comes up wins the prize. But you pay like X amount of dollars, and a percentage of the monies that you pay goes towards the fundraiser. So I bought 2 squares with my 2 lucky numbers, and I won the scry mirror, which I'm really excited for. 'Cause I have one made by Dark Scries, and that one was made. So now I'm going to have a natural one that's black obsidian. Oh, it's called Beyond the Senses. If anyone's interested, Beyond the Senses now, they're now raising money for, before, like I said, it was MadCon 3 for cystic fibrosis. Now they're helping Wildwood Sanitarium in New York. They need a new roof desperately.
Yeah.
So that's what they're raising for money for now. So
it's a really cool place as well. I've had, I was lucky enough to spend the night, well, maybe unlucky enough to spend the night in Wildwood by myself overnight.
Ooh.
And yeah, no, it wasn't a very good idea. So I had an event there with Ryan Poole, and I were hosting a couple of years ago, and you know, everybody had left. So Lori told me, Eric, why don't you just stay here? So I said, all right, I'll just sleep here, because I was doing, spending the weekend there. So I did. I'm downstairs in the bedroom sleeping, and I had just fallen asleep. And then I started hearing footsteps. Literally, I was the only one in the house, running down the stairs, and then right up to the bed, and the whole bed.
Wow.
So I literally, I'm not even kidding with you. I'm not gonna be scared to admit it. I was scared. So I got up, literally sat up. I didn't sleep at all that night. I went and sat out in the front porch on the little swing they have out there until the sun came up.
Wow.
I don't blame you.
I believe it.
I was by myself. Scared though.
I'll tell you what. At the Monroe house, I dozed off, and then after that, I mean, I don't know. They told me that they heard me snoring a couple times throughout the night, so I may have dozed a couple times, but I did not sleep well in that place at all. So it's just enough to make it so I could drive home.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know
Wildwood is a great place, though. Wildwood, they do need a roof, and any little bit helps. It's a great place to investigate.
Definitely, that's a place that's on my list. I haven't been able to get there. My old co-host John Ward, his team's first documentary was on Wildwood.
Yep.
And I still can't say Salmonatica, New York.
Salamanca.
Yeah, what he said.
Oh yeah, no, I actually have another clip on there, and I think it's on one of the YouTube channels that I just shared with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually going to be on the Osborne show. The Osbornes Want to Believe.
Really?
Hasn't aired yet, though. Yeah.
So we can get a sneak peek on something that's on.
Which one is it? You'll see it on there. It's on my personal one, not the Haunting the Haunted TV. It's on my personal one.
Which one is it?
And it says Erik vs. Haunted Doll at Wildwood or something like that.
Erik, here's Rutland.
It's purple.
Purple.
Like the infrared is purple.
There we go. Hold on. Aha. Erik versus...
And it's a short clip.
Yeah, let's... Okay. Let's play it. Cool. Yeah, this one is 2 minutes and 45 seconds. This one...
And it's gonna be on the Osbornes Want to Believe.
This is going to be on the Osborne show. I don't know if everyone can hear it. This is going to be on the Osborne show. So we are getting a sneak peek. Ozzy Osbourne himself is going to be watching, or did watch this.
And make fun of me.
That is awesome. If anyone's going to make fun of me, it better be freaking Ozzy Osbourne.
Exactly. That's what I said.
That is awesome. Okay, so let's see here. And let's go full screen. And here we go.
wind up music. So I'm going to wind it up again. Don't you look at me like that. Wind it up again. But this time, oh, I'm pretty sure that ball just moved. Wow. All right. Baby walk to mommy. Do you want to show me your favorite doll? That's me hitting the stupid wind chime thing. Show me which doll is your favorite by making it fall over. Can you do that? Oh, man, things that I do sometimes are nuts. Which one? Anyone? What is your favorite doll? Can you show me which doll is your favorite by knocking it over? I'm not seeing anything falling over. I don't know. I'm thinking that's my head, wind chime. Go on. Those are fireworks. It's 4th of July forever up here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Up here.
What?
Whoa, forever
whoa.
up here. Whoa. Good God. So that's your favorite doll?
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty unique.
That's creepy.
Uh-oh. That. Wow. So that doll fell over.
Correct.
Basically upon request.
Yeah, after you saw it's been sitting there for a while.
Yeah.
And then it just fell over, by itself. I was on the opposite side of the room. As you see, I panned back over once I heard something. And there goes that doll.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Matt, Phil, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, Matt. He says, "What's up, Eric? What's up, dude?"
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
He was at MadCon.
Yep. I wish I was there. It looked like it was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a blast, man. It was a blast.
It looked like
I wish I could have done the ghost hunt, but it just wasn't in the cards for me. But it was the event itself was awesome. It was very successful, so it was cool to be a part of that. Brian and I, we donated a starter kit for a podcast.
Very nice.
So it was a blue snowball mic and a headphone and a camera. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so someone can kind of do what we do. So
yep, that's what it's all about.
Heck yeah. So so a guy won and he was asking questions about starting a podcast. So hopefully that branches out to somebody else spreading the word.
Yeah, for sure.
Tom McNicholas is on now. Holly Miner says hello.
Hello.
So very cool. So as I was kind of, I don't know, kicked out by the antivirus, you guys were talking about Ouija boards?
It was probably Christine.
Probably, yeah. We were just trying to see if it was aliens or ghosts or what was really kicking you off.
History and Headlines asked us about aliens.
Yeah.
We just did we help out on with a friend's podcast. He's a history professor and he does videos. It's called History and Headlines, and we just kind of give our little 2 cents on what we think on different historical events.
Yep.
And so yeah, a lot of the things, unfortunately, there's just not a lot there. Like a lot of the UFO claims or stories, it's hard to say one way or another.
It really is. It really is. I'm a believer, though. I'm
Me
a
too.
believer.
Oh, for sure.
I think that, I don't know. In my mind, in the way that I think it would be very close-minded of us to think that we're the only living creatures in all of outer space.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I agree.
with as young as our species is, I think it would also be kind of ignorant to think that there isn't anything that might be more advanced than us, because we really have not been around that long
No, we really haven't.
in the
I
grand
agree with
scheme
you.
of things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out there. It's just a matter of if we interacted with them or not.
I've never personally been able to say that I've 100% seen a UFO, but I've had some that were definitely questionable.
Yeah.
Some weird stuff in the skies, but I don't know if it would be a actual real alien UFO. One time I was on the balcony of my apartment when I was in high school, and I saw something go streaking across the sky. I would have thought it was just a meteor, but like way off in the distance, it must have hit the ground because it made a big green explosion. Like the whole like back of the sky turned like green and purples. It was insane. I've never seen anything like it since then.
Yeah, no, I've never seen anything like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, what could do that? And I actually called the police, and they're like, yeah, we're getting all the calls. We don't know what it is. Okay. That's the best I got out of it. And then one time, I swear to God, I was stone cold sober. I was working at, I'm sorry, I have to add this because it doesn't make sense. I was a manager of a GNC store, a General Nutrition Center. And I was in the back smoking a cigarette. Yes, as manager of General Nutrition. Yeah, whatever. I contradict myself. Leave me alone. Anyways, I was back there smoking a cigarette, and I swear to God, I saw there's a tree line. So there's the back parking lot, behind the strip mall, and there was like, those ponds to catch the draining water, the rainwater.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those ponds, and then there's like a tree line. And then behind that tree line, just knowing the neighborhood, it's a new development, a very nice new development.
Okay.
I swear to God, I watched an airliner land just beyond that tree line.
No kidding.
Makes no sense at all.
No.
Again, I called the police. They're like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. There's no reason for that to happen. There's no reports of a crash or anything. I'm like, I swear to God, like I was not on any supplements or anything. like I didn't even take anything for energy that day. I swear. And
Yoked Sean taking too much creatine.
That'll do it every time.
The Crealkaline, man. No, I was I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like some sort of like I saw like into a rift of a different dimension.
Yeah, you possibly could have. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's insane.
Never seen nothing like that.
That wasn't an alien or anything, but I could never explain that. I swear. And of course, there wasn't like anyone else there with me, and of course, I didn't have my phone ready with me. Yep. Actually, I was watching movies on a portable DVD player. If that tells you how long ago that was. That was before Netflix.
Yep.
So, but that's it. Those are my craziest like alien experiences. What about you, Brian? Have you ever seen anything crazy up in the sky or Mothman?
No.
I'll keep looking.
Right?
Yeah.
Carnal Wild wants to know, what are your thoughts on orbs?
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, it depends. I've seen, most orbs can be explained as, moisture or dust and stuff like that. But I have seen some stuff that's pretty questionable. When you see something that's got like its own flight pattern, it's not a bug. You know what I mean? I do believe that some orbs can be some sort of energy, but I believe that probably 99% of it can be explainable.
I think I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I think that I've seen, like at the Hinsdale house, and actually Mike Ricksecker said that he saw the same thing. Amber and I, we were sitting by the fire pit there, and kind of like by where the tall grass is, like right pretty close to where the trail meets the woods area.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We saw like small balls of lights, like kind of coming from the ground.
Yep. Nope. I've seen something similar to that. And that to me, that's unexplainable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it would be a firefly or anything like that.
Oh, fireflies aren't like blues and greens,
Exactly. Yeah. And speaking of the Hinsdale house, one really cool thing that I had happen to me there, and I'm only going to say this to you because I'm curious if you've had any experiences like this there. So we were just, trying to go to sleep at like maybe 4 or 5 in the morning downstairs in the living room area there, and we started hearing Native American chanting coming from all around us, from the outside of the house, circling the entire house. So we started hearing this really weird Native American chanting. So of course we all wake up to it and we're like, what the hell's going on? So we go outside. The chanting stops. It just completely stops. But across, where the cornfield was across the street?
Yeah.
Well, the corn level was high that day. So, but we could see dark shadow people like walking all through it and moving around all weird like in there. It was nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really crazy.
So I've heard of the stories of the Native American drumming and things there. I did not see that. I did see something, and I tell this story all the time. Again, Amber and I, we have like Amber and I, like whenever we get together and investigate, it's always something crazy always happens with us.
Uh-huh.
And this time, of course, again, no camera. The cool stuff all happens without camera.
Yeah, exactly.
So we were sitting by the fire pit, and on the path going up the hill into the woods, I saw a man squatting down. He had his hands kind of like down on his knees, kind of like squatting, like he had his hands together. The thing is, he had a snout and antlers.
Wow.
And big black eyes. Amber and I both saw it. I swear to God, I was so scared. Like, I didn't know what the hell it was. And it was so pronounced. And it was like, I saw it physically there. It wasn't like, it was not transparent at all. It was solid. I picked up 2 big sticks. I've done a lot of camping, and I know with bears, you make yourself big and loud. And so I took 2 sticks. I start waving it above my head, and I start just yelling. And the thing, it kind of like drifted away. And I was telling Dan that story, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot what the name was, but there's stories of a pugwudgie there." The thing is about pugwudgies.
That's what I've heard. Yep, pugwudgie. Yep.
Pugwudgies are small though. They
are small.
A man-sized creature. This is I think this is a Native American mythical creature. I'm not quite sure exactly what or how to explain it. I wish that could have made it into Ectovision's documentary, but there's no way. We didn't have anything to show. After that, we decided we're going to keep the thermal outside, but of course, nothing happened after that.
Yep, of course. Thing about the chanting that I was telling you about, it was so loud that we really thought the house was surrounded by people. We thought people were messing with us. That's how loud it was.
And the thing is that people can go there. There is a car that we saw. They came in. They started to pull up the driveway, and as soon as we started walking up the driveway, they turned around and peeled out.
People do come and go all night just to look at the house.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a car in sight. We literally, from hearing the chanting, and like I said, it was so loud that we thought that people were surrounding the house, and it was coming from everywhere, and it was so loud. But literally, just walking out the doors when it stopped, we heard it all the way walking to outside. That it stopped. There wasn't a car in sight. Because there's a long road to get out of there. There was not one car in sight, and it just stopped. And then we started seeing the shadow figures across the street in the corn things. It was crazy.
That's insane.
And this was late when we just started to go to bed.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is Amber is a sensitive, and I'm an empath, and so we were like, we're not sleeping in this house. We did a 2-day investigation. So we knew we were sleeping there. We were like, we're not sleeping in that house. We're not getting that negative energy. We want a good night's sleep. We're going to sleep better outside on the ground than we're going to in this house that supposedly has demons in it.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. We didn't
well,
really sleep that much that night.
The thing is, the outside is more haunted than the inside.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter where you are. The whole place, all the grounds, everything there is haunted.
Oh, it was insane. Like we had more experiences sleeping outside than they did inside.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, there's something big and heavy. I mean, it could have been an animal. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was too scared to get up and look and see what it was, but something big and heavy walked between our tents. I really don't think that a deer. I mean, maybe if they're really used to being around people, maybe it would come out with tents outside. I don't know. But
I mean, there's not a lot of people outside there, though. You're pretty much in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Right. Holly Miner is asking if I saw a Wendigo. Maybe.
Hard to say for sure.
It is real hard to say. I mean, it was a humanoid figure with a deer face and antlers and big old. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't about to mess with it though.
Nope.
So Karma Wild, she wants to know: do you believe there? She's going back to her orbs, I think. Do you believe they are spirits? And I don't. Wait, I don't. And I have hours of documentation. I just believe they are some kind of errant energy form. Now, real quick, I kind of want to touch on this. I think that maybe I don't know different ways that spirit can show on camera or film. But there's also elementals that may come into play if it's something unexplainable. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, it's tough. It's tough to say without seeing. To be 100% accurate. And even then, it wouldn't be 100% accurate. I do believe, that spirits can come in the form of an orb. I do believe that. But like I said, 99% of it is easily explainable. So it's hard to tell without physically seeing it for myself.
Yeah. And with that being said, Karma, if you want to go ahead and send that to us, you can send it to Brian's or mine, or I'm sure Erik would love to see it too. We all love it when people share stuff.
Yeah, I'd be happy to take a look at it.
Yeah, let us know. Share it, please. That's what the community is all about. And that's what I loved about being on Ectovision. That's why I have a few clips that I share on my personal YouTube channel, because I want to share the evidence. It's about getting it out there. So please let us know. Laura Helms says she saw a deer in a field with a light bulb on its head, and it was on.
What the hell?
So, a deer sounds like a Christmas decoration to me. I don't know.
I've never heard of anything like that.
I'm cracking jokes. That I would. Did you get a picture or a video of that? Because I'd love to see that.
I would love to see that too.
Right.
I mean, is this the Hinsdale house or just in general?
Yeah, Laura, where did you see that at? The thing that I saw was definitely humanoid. Now, when it left, it's kind of like drifted away, and it didn't make any noise. It was one of the weirdest experiences I've had.
Yeah, that is very strange.
She says that she was 5. Yeah, I was 5.
Okay.
Okay, where was this at? Was this here in Ohio, Laura? Where did you see it at? And Brian, so what is the weirdest experience that you've had, Brian? It's with the paranormal. You've been doing this for a while.
I don't really have like a lot of weird experiences. But one of the ones, it was when I first started getting into the paranormal, and I was trying to, get into my buddy's head, and I was telling him all about the Russian sleep experiment. It was during like an off season of college, and so the summer break, and we were at the track, and it was like, I don't know, like 11:30 at night, and we were waiting for our 2 buddies to come because this is the only time that we can get a running in, and we were on the other side of the concession stands, and And we were just doing like a quote unquote like a mock EVP session without the audio recorder. We were asking if there was anything with us and this that, but it almost felt like there was like footsteps coming towards us, and then because like we were sitting on the concession stands and there was like a metal like sheet to protect the concession stand so no one gets in. It was as if someone was standing right there and took both hands and slammed it on there, and it was so loud it scared both of us like half to death. And we totally ran faster than we intended to at the track.
Right.
It was insane. But like everything else, like when we went to Madison Seminary, there was like this doll that was being pulled down, and we were able to sleep there back in the day, and it was. There was some walking around, and people have gotten scratched, and that's the weird stuff that I expect, but not just at like a random place like a high school track. That's
no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
they
the
say
interesting
that schools hold a lot of energy. That's what they say. A lot of schools are haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I definitely. I mean, think about it. Like, there's so many different things that happen in a school, right?
Yep.
Good,
A lot of emotions.
bad, exactly. A lot of emotions, and most schools are made out of brick or stone. So
they are.
Let's see. Oh, so Laura Helm said that the deer was at her uncle's house in Shreve, if I said that correct, Shreve, Ohio.
Okay.
She said that they're
interesting.
She said that her uncles or cousins were pranksters. Never thought of that. I wouldn't know what to think of that if I were to see that. Honestly, I would think I was dreaming. That's weird.
I would think I had something bad to eat or bad to drink or did some shrooms.
Right? I was gonna say it sounds like you're eating some of those good brownies,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll go through and answer a few of these questions.
Yeah, we are behind on the chat.
Yeah, well, even going back a little further, thoughts on the orbs, I agree with you guys, but I was always taught that most orbs that like you see on the video cameras are like you said, Eric, 99.9% dust, bugs, etc. But it's when you see it in person, when you see the orbs in person, like the balls of light, in a dark room, say you're not the camera operator, or even if you are the camera operator and like you see the light outside of the video camera, that's kind of like the safe bet that you're dealing with an orb.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think most orbs are, how'd you put it, errant energy. Yeah, I think for the most part, if there are orbs, like the majority of them are, just energy that's floating around and kind of unexplained and not normal. That's why we call it paranormal. But let's say it's a crisis apparition, right? And you just lost a mother, and you're in the bedroom, and you see like a ball of light, but it's really close to I don't know, like an urn or like a very sentimental item to your mother. That's when you start to take in coincidence, or maybe that that orb is some kind of energy from your mother, as in like a crisis apparition. So I think, just like you're saying, Karma, that the majority of the time it is just random energy, but I think there are those cases where it could be something, and maybe that's the only way that spirit can manifest itself.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I agree.
Definitely a Wendigo haunting, Sean, for sure, hunting him down. But I think the Wendigo is more like based on location, and I don't think that, Sean, were you in an area that could potentially have Wendigo? Or?
Potentially, yes. There is Native American history there. Potentially, I mean, that's why you can't really describe that that's what it was. The reason why I don't think that that's what it was is that that's a very strong, prominent type of Native American spirit, and I feel like if that's what it was, a lot worse things would have happened.
Yeah, you would have had more interaction.
I just feel like it would have been a lot more negative, but that's just from what I know, and I don't know everything. So,
yeah, I agree with you. Okay, yeah. Sorry, that's my 2 cents. Sometimes we get caught up, and I don't want to interrupt, but there was a moment that said I gotta throw my 2 cents in.
No, please. With the when dealing with the Native American, like there's people that believe or that have thrown out the idea that what is in the Monroe house is even something like the Wendigo. It's a very strong negative presence. At least it can be, depending on what it is. It's depending on what it's protecting or
Exactly.
what it's about. Now that I don't know. I definitely went up in the woods. But I'm always respectful, but I mean, I just feel like we definitely would have. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like it would have been a much crazier experience if that's what it was. It was just like it was there. It wanted us to see it, and then it was gone.
Yeah, and I think if that's the case, I don't really think it's like obviously statistically it could be a Wendigo, but I think like you're saying it's kind of pointing towards otherwise.
So, Eric, dealing with this and going into a lot of homes and businesses and stuff, do people ever ask you to like do a cleansing or anything like that?
Yep, they do. If I feel that a home does need it, I do have many people around the country that can help me with that. So, there's most of these places when you're dealing with residential cases, a lot of times you can usually explain it to something natural, and people kind of blow things out of proportion. But there are those cases where people do need those cleansings, and that's when I don't do any of that myself. I'm just an investigator. I'm not a psychic at all. I'm just a guy doing his research, trying to help people out. So I would call somebody in to do it for me.
Okay. Yeah. If that's not something you're comfortable doing, honestly, I'll go and I'll sage my house and I'll do blessings at my house.
Yep.
And I'll do it for close friends. But there's a lot of risk involved. There's
a ton of risk involved.
Right. Especially when you're dealing with sage. You're burning something in somebody's house. Yeah, there's a lot of risk with
that's an insurance risk. You know what I'm saying? Because that's lit up.
Like I do it at our own house. Stephanie will do it too. But as far as doing it at other people's houses, not only necessarily because I don't want to burn their house down, but there are those slight chances that it's not going to do anything and just make the matters worse.
Right.
Well, and then the clients are going to come back to you like, what the hell did you do? You know what I mean? So I make sure that I bring somebody in who fully understands all that, because I'm not ashamed to admit that I don't fully understand all that.
Right.
I don't know if all that's going to work, but I'll bring somebody in who's a little more knowledgeable in that area of it to help me out.
I'm with Eric. Like when you talked about, I'm a very grounded person, and so like not a lot typically happens to me. But my passion is creating that opportunity for other people that are sensitive or just have the gift. And when it comes to like on one investigation, my brother at Madison Seminary was like, something was really getting at him, and he was getting real emotional, and he felt really sick. And he's never felt like that before because he's always been one of those, not really show his emotions guy. Luckily, I had a sensitive there, and Kathy was able to ground him and shield him and everything, and that's way out of my pay grade. And when it comes to cleansing or even saging, oh no, like I'm not about to Google something. I'm about to bring in someone who's passionate about this and has done it for years. Oh, I'm not. No, thank you.
Right. Yeah. I see. That's why I will only just when you go into a client's home and you're doing this cleansing, they are expecting you to it's like like they picture you like you're like expelling whatever is in their house.
Yep.
And when you're doing a saging, you're more changing the energy. You're making it uncomfortable, and you're hoping that the spirit leaves.
Exactly.
So, I mean, there's no guarantee with any of that, and yeah, that's why it is best to get somebody who is definitely more informed than even myself to do it. But I will do it if I'm on an investigation and someone like Brian is having an experience. I'll go up to someone and I will do what I know how to do, like with shielding. I'll give them. I'll give them some sage. I'll even give them a crystal or something to hold on to if that's. But I'm not. That stuff only works if you believe in it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So if I go into your house and I'm saging your house, but yet you're a devout Catholic, well, I just wasted a whole bunch of sage.
Yep.
And your house now smells really funny.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, no, I'd rather play it safe than sorry. And you know, if there's a slightest chance that, you know, I may be doing something that's going to put them more at risk, I'm going to call somebody above me to come in and help me out, and or at least call them and get their opinion. So
here, Karma is asking, how can I join RU Media so I can show you what I'm talking about? So here, is this it? All my anomalies and orbs and freaky weird stuff have been caught by my CCTV cameras. And the only way I know that I've been gotten anything and go back to look and see because I get a motion detection notification. So
yep.
There's a lot of things I want to know here, and you can personally send it to me. You can send it to my email address 330paradad@gmail.com. If you guys want to help out too, that's fine. And I want to know what types of cameras you're looking at. I want to know because there's different cameras have different. Like if you could see that there's a difference. So I'm using a 720 camera, and Brian is using probably something better than that because his picture is better than mine. And so you can see the difference just in the grain there.
This one right here?
Oh, if you go onto Facebook, you see the difference.
Oh, because this is some random webcam, but Sean.
I mean, see, I don't have anything.
We got it.
Is that new?
We got it, Sean.
Look at that. He's got a new camera, guys.
Sean and I are planning a very important investigation. Ironically, my friend Erik, it is not only an old nunnery that is now a special needs adults office. There are a bunch of school grounds for all of these special needs adults, and I got the keys to the haunted nunnery, and I'm getting the keys tomorrow, hopefully, to the entire school. And of course, to celebrate, I was doing some research with Sean because we're going to be doing, an investigation together. I got this nice 4K camera so I can just stare at Sean the whole time as he's freaking out. What was that? Make that sound louder, closer to me. Like, what's going on? Oh yeah, it's going to be great.
That's really cool, though. Good for you. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Getting new cameras and stuff is always fun. I got the Zoom Q2N camera. That's my latest purchase for a camera.
Very nice.
So I wanted something with good high sound quality because I want to capture some EVPs. That's my idea. I picture it in my head working. So,
how long do you guys have the keys to this nunnery in school?
Forever.
What? See,
forever?
I didn't know that. Forever?
Wow.
Forever?
I mean, unless they go out of business or something happens, but it's a family friend, and I'm blessed to have the connection I have. So it's an opportunity.
Are you guys going to post any pictures or anything from there?
Yeah, we did on our Your Paranormal page. So it's just Your Paranormal, and it's one word. We did like a small investigation there, just at the nunnery, but we're gonna be doing all the photos. Once we do it sometime late this fall. So you're going to get all the good stuff, and I'll make sure to post it on like a special folder here on the Our Paranormal podcast, just so people don't think that we're out here posers just doing some podcasts. Like we're out there, you know. Of course, you need to see wonderful photos of me and Sean in action. You know, we're not posers.
We're not posers. We're not posers. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited. And actually, you know something else Brian does? He does real paranormal investigators playing real scary games. So he on his YouTube channel, he films investigators playing like these horror games. So I went to his house and we played some freaking horror games, and he's gonna be posting those soon. So that's
very cool.
I don't know. Growing up playing video games and I like the paranormal, it's like I'm like, yes.
I'm all into that too. I'd be right down to play that.
Right.
Yeah. So this Saturday, so we have like we have regular scary game Saturdays where every Saturday we're gonna be posting just like the one-off, you know, little games. So when Sean came over to celebrate us being the co-host, I got to show him around my hometown, got us some nice Mexican food, and we just chatted, and it was a really good time. And of course, we had to film some of this, you know, us playing some scary games, and and you know, that's the whole fun part, because you know, like a lot of people just think horror games. Yes, a lot of people, you know, like especially when you're sharing, you know, photos and videos on social media. A lot of us, we just post our photos and we post our videos and of like the investigations, and you never get to see our personalities. And so I've made it a large passion of mine to make sure that there's interviews with them so they can talk about, you know, what's going on in their life. You know, we created this scary game thing because we thought it'd be hilarious, just so you can get to know us a little better, and it's a little fun. Real ghost hunters play real scary games, and it's a way to just say, yeah, I can see, you know, your team, all the photos, all the cool evidence you've got, but I can also see that like you're a little paranormal family, and you know, you can see different interactions, and it's really neat. And Sean's reactions are the best. I mean, that's the real point here.
Oh Lord,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a good time.
No, I'm nervous to see. I never like watching. Like I've seen myself on Ectovision's videos and other TV shows. I never get used to seeing myself.
Yep.
At all. And like watching our intro, like it's got like this. Oh, I can't even. I gotta look away. So
I don't. To be honest with you, I don't ever watch my own.
Yeah.
I'll watch them when, you know, once they're done and finished and get the approval and everything like that. But after that, I don't really watch them. I don't watch them when they air. I don't watch them.
That's like the only time my family like has like we do stuff that has to do with the paranormal and they see what I do. It's when I'm sharing these videos. So whenever I'm on a YouTube thing or on something on TV or something, we'll sit down and we'll watch it as a family. That's like it.
Yep.
My kids, they're too young for me, I don't know. I think they're too young, and I don't think that they're mature enough to partake yet. And honestly, I don't know. So every kid's different. I know that there are kids out there that do it. I'm totally cool with it. Dude, I'm just talking about my own. So I just want to make that clear because I don't want people to think I'm judging. I'm not. Karma says she sent me an email. Sweet.
All right.
Can I share it with Erik and with Brian? And we'll get their thoughts too. And then we will get back to you shortly after.
Cool. Erik, do you have kids?
I do not have any kids, no.
Oh, okay. Sean.
Not yet.
How old are the kids again?
7 and 11 and 12.
Okay. This is 330 Paradad talking right here, okay? Someone comes to you, Sean, when is the appropriate age to let your kids conduct paranormal investigations either with you or by themselves? When do you let them leave the paranormal nest? If they want it.
Every kid's different. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
It's hard to say when one kid's going to be ready and when the other one's going to be ready.
How old's your daughter?
My daughter, my daughter, my oldest, she would probably be okay with it, but at the same time, she's not, because if something happens, she's scared she's not going to sleep for a week. So she's not ready.
How old is she then?
She's 12.
Okay.
So Callie, but like mentally, like she could go to an investigation. She could be quiet. She could be respectful. She could do everything up until that scary thing happens. Like one time, she knows that there's a spirit in the house. Actually, everybody knows. It's hard not to.
The neighborhood knows.
So, one time she had like her art box on. She moved it. Maybe Thomas moved it. I don't know. It was on her bed, and normally it's up in her closet. And she didn't remember moving it. So we had just like ran to the store real quick, and I came home to her sitting on the front porch because she didn't remember moving it, and she was scared. So I'm like, yeah, you're not ready. My son, however, he's like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to do this. But I think that's more just because he wants to hang out with dad and do what dad does. And but the thing is that he's hyper. He's hyper, man. We're gonna be doing an EVP session, and he's gonna be running up and down the hallways. He's gonna be like I'll be like, I'll think I heard something, and I'll be like, hello. And then he'll be like, hello, 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 going all crazy, So he's just, but there are some that are ready, and I think that it can be very helpful. I think that it's great that the community is where it's at now, because if you can go to a con and you can meet other people who have had experiences, you can go on these ghost hunts, whatever, or even a ghost tour, all these things that go on, and they're probably not far from your community, if not in your community, and meet people, and you can share stories, and people aren't going to act like you're crazy. When I was younger and I was going through the stuff I was going through, I would tell people stuff and they thought I was crazy. Yep. Or something would happen in my house and then no one would ever want to come to my house again.
Yeah.
So
here, Eric, what's a manly name, Eric?
What?
A manly name.
Name for what? What are we naming?
I know. What are we naming?
Just like a manly name.
It wouldn't let me send anything. If I'm asking if I can do it in Messenger. Yeah, do it in Messenger.
I don't know. What would you consider a manly name?
George. I don't know.
George. Okay. Your daughter rolls up with George. Says, "Hey, Sean, dad, I want to take your daughter out on a date, but it's an investigation. As the dad, what's their curfew?"
Wait, what?
What's their curfew on this paranormal date?
So my sister's going on my daughter is going on a date with some dude, and he's taking her to on a paranormal date.
What's the curfew? 9 p.m.
No, my daughter. Neither of them are allowed to go to any empty, dark building without any lights or anything. Or that's just not going to happen. They're going to go to very well lit buildings in public where people are seen and where there are cameras.
That's awesome.
Yep, they're not going to be alone in any way, shape, or form. Not until they're like 40.
Not until they're 40.
That's a good age.
Yep, 40. That's a good age for girls to leave the nest. And
Here, they can paranormal investigate, but not as a date. Not until they're 40.
No, they're not going to any dark rooms with any dude. I'll tell you what, they can go on a public hunt as long as they're never alone, and I'm there with a camera behind them.
Not just any dude, it's George.
It's George.
Not just any dude, it's George. George trying to get that duo run in. Come on. You know the most, paranormal activity happens when you're in small groups.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what? I wouldn't care if I'm worried about other activities.
This is the Paradad 10 Commandments here for paranormal dating.
12 gauge for the moment when a boy comes to pick up my daughter for a date, and I get to sit on my couch cleaning it so he can see me with my 12 gauge.
Yep.
I want the REM pod on the left and the 12 gauge on the right, and he ain't gonna know what hit him.
Right. I got my pistol grip. Don't mess with me. Joking, not joking. Holly says your daughters are going to hate you when they turn 16.
Wait until they turn 40.
Just no dark, empty buildings. That's all I'm saying. Okay, a movie, okay, whatever. I mean, I'd rather them, watch a movie in my well-lit living room. But, if they got to go to a dark theater, I'm sure there'll be other people there. So.
And maybe you haven't caught that film either, so maybe you join them on the, movie. Say, hey, I've been wanting to watch this film. I don't know.
I'll put on like shades and a hat and all
Oh yeah. You can go on the paranormal investigations with them, but you got to get one of those
do that yawn
night vision goggles.
When he starts doing that yawn move.
Oh yeah.
I'll start throwing popcorn at him and fruits. He's like, what's that? Yeah. No one likes chicken nuggets anyways. I'm gonna throw them at you.
Yeah, nobody does.
So Karma, I did get the emails. I got 2 emails from you. Oh, nope, I got 4 emails now. So you can send it to me in Messenger. That's not a problem. Don't send it to RU Media's Messenger if it's private, because every other show on RU Media has access to that. So you can go to our Paranormal page, and you can send it to us there, or you can send it to either Brian or myself on the Facebook. Or I'm sure Eric would be okay with seeing it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Erik, you've been in the paranormal field for 26 years now. What got you started, and how did you make the decision to make the leap of faith to actually get involved in the community?
Well, it wasn't by choice, I'll put it that way. When I was 13 years old, I was lucky enough, or again, unlucky enough, to have an experience that most paranormal investigators don't get in their entire careers. I witnessed a full-bodied apparition, which is as solid as you or I, disappear right in front of my face when I was 13 years old. Now, this scared the hell out of me. I actually ran away screaming and actually had nightmares about it for weeks and, didn't talk about it and was just terrified for weeks. And then after that, I kind of was second-guessing myself, what the hell did I see? So then I just started, reading as much as I could in the libraries and stuff like that. And then I got really, really kind of overly fascinated about it. So then, I decided that, I wanted to start doing this for myself and go looking for this stuff. So that's what I would do. I would go to all these abandoned buildings and just start ghost hunting,
Mm-hmm.
So, and that I've been doing it ever since.
Wow. What? Have you ever, since you kind of grew up with, it sounds like you had pretty similar experiences that I had, and I ended up telling, it's a short version of it, and I kind of condensed a lot of it, but I had it in Mike Ricksecker's Encounters of the Paranormal. Have you ever shared your story in that kind of a way?
Mm-hmm. It was just crazy. Just seeing what I saw that day, I still to this day have never seen anything so pronounced in my entire life. I've seen a lot of shadow figures and stuff like that, but I have never again. And I've been back to this place where I saw it numerous times, never saw it again. But I have never in my entire career seen something that looked as solid as you or I. It was an old man, and he was wearing a tuxedo and an Abe Lincoln style top hat.
Oh,
and
wow.
the best way I can describe this guy, he was real tall, real thin, real pale, and to me, he looked like the guy from Poltergeist, that old guy.
Ooh.
Not exactly like him, but along those lines.
Yeah.
Really creepy. And this guy, like as soon as I locked eyes on him, this guy just disappeared right in front of me.
Oh, wow.
And me being a kid, it really scared the living crap out of me.
Heck yeah.
And like I said, I'm still not sure exactly what I saw, but I know what I saw. And I literally had nightmares about this guy for weeks afterwards. And I was a kid, so I'd be up at night crying. I was scared.
So you knew what you saw wasn't
Absolutely
natural,
100%.
we'll say.
And the creepiest thing about it for me, every time I think about that experience, I can still see his face to a T, what I remember it being exactly the same. I can still see his face in my head when I think about it.
That's crazy.
See, when you have experiences like that, that's one of those life-changing experiences that us as investigators, that's why we do it. That's why that's why people pay the hundreds of dollars. Yes, we want to raise money for these historical locations. Yes, we want to make these documentaries, but really, we want to have that life-changing experience. That's it.
See, I'm getting goosebumps right now, even thinking about it. And to be honest with you, I kind of think of it as that was my calling right there. That was what I was meant to do. And 26 years later, here I am still doing it. Been all over the country doing it. So I've been very blessed, to be able to do this and, to make a career out of it and everything like that. But I think that point in my life was the calling point for me.
How 26 years ago, the paranormal community was very different.
Oh, so much different.
How did you get involved? Like, I always talk about how I got involved. Like, I wanted to get involved, but none of my friends wanted to. So I found an event, and I just kind of started going myself.
Yep.
How did you get started?
Well, I started doing it actually by myself for a long time, like you did. And then my sister ended up, being fascinated with everything that I was going through and what I was doing and researching. So she's been with me the entire time. She's still actually on New Hampshire Project Paranormal, working with Kyle. So her and I would go out and do these things. And then, eventually in 2002, that's when I decided, I'm going to form my own team and start doing this. And that's when I founded New Hampshire Project Paranormal.
Wow.
And I've been going ever since. But you're right. It was a totally different world back then. Nobody's arguing with each other. There wasn't a lot of teams. Like I said, I was 1 out of 5 in New Hampshire. Now there's over 1,000. You didn't have all these judgmental people, trying to pretend they're better than everybody else. It wasn't like that.
Right. You're going out with your digital recorder and your digital camera, and maybe trying other things. Maybe when I started, it was a little over 10 years ago when I first started, and it wasn't as it is today. And then when I got into ectovision, that's when I really started to see the change. And honestly, I started when it was still, the TV shows were going, and honestly, that's what gave me the idea was watching them helping people. And I was like, holy cow, I lived through this. I could probably help people. So
Of course. And it's when I started out, I started out with a really, really cheap digital recorder, a regular digital camera, and a Super 8, the tapes that you put in the video cameras, those ones.
Yeah.
So I started out with just the basic stuff, and then we're lucky enough now that the people who are creating all these equipment, that we're lucky to have this stuff now because it's very useful, most of it.
Yes.
And I didn't have all that when I first started out.
Right?
You know,
They didn't have
nothing. We didn't have nothing like we have now.
they didn't have things like the periscope.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's so much science to everything right now, but
Right.
a lot of it is very useful.
Very. I don't know. Karma, she says people were nicer before they figured out they can make a living doing this for whatever reason. Everyone wants to be like Zach Baggins. I don't know why. So I think that people everyone kind of I think people want their moment, right? Everybody kind of wants their moment of fame. Or yes, you know what? I would love to get paid to do the paranormal. I want to be Zach Baggins? No. But that's because he's Zach Baggins and I'm Sean Gilmore.
Exactly.
So that's what it's about. Obviously, Zach Baggins is doing something right. He's got the longest running TV show out there. No matter what any of our opinions are of that, dude is driving a freaking Bentley and has had the longest running freaking paranormal TV show. So no matter what any of us have to say about his TV show, he is living it up. So,
well, the funniest part about all that too is everybody who, you know, trashes on Zach. I don't trash on Zach. I think he's a smart businessman. But everybody who trashes on Zach in the show, they all watch it. You know, they're still watching his show. They're giving him the rating.
Right.
It's true. I think when you look at what the goal of your group is, and his group is like the TV show, his main thing isn't to entertain. It isn't to bring you very scrutinized evidence that's extremely credible. It's to entertain you. You know, there's a bunch of other TV shows that are like, you know, literally just people joking around, running around, screaming and everything, and it's a great time. And I think his abrasive attitude towards everything being a demon, which, I mean, statistically, maybe it is true. No one knows, you know, and no one's ever going to know. But it's entertaining, and that's his goal. And it's, you know, whether it's negative or a positive experience on the community, I think it shines the light on our community. I think in the past there hasn't been. I feel like in the past there was a lot more engagement. There was a lot more. I guess what I'm trying to say is like the younger generation isn't as into the paranormal as like we are. And I think that's a way to rope people in, and then once they experience it for themselves, they're like, "Wow, you know, this isn't that bad."
Right.
Yep.
Everybody, Musgrove has just jumped on. How's it going, brother?
Congratulations on all the success, Chris. It was a fantastic fundraiser.
It was for him, for his family. It's
awesome.
His son has cystic fibrosis. So
Mm-hmm.
Dude, to see that, I mean, that was
that is awesome though. They did a good job.
Yeah, and that's it's their passion. It's his wife. I mean, you can tell it's their passion. Of course, it is. It's their son, right? So
exactly. I love that.
So, Chris, thank you for jumping on and saying hi, brother. It was awesome, man. It was so cool to be a part of that. So, still living off the high of being there. Oh, here, Karma. Oops. Karma, she says, I absolutely love. Oh, wait. I love watching Ed and Lorraine Warren because of their complete sincerity in what they're doing. And she said that Zach has done well for himself, but he has been possessed more times than any human being has a right to be.
It was a year ago, and I have a subscription to Audible, and I picked up the Ed and Lorraine book, and I listened to it. It was actually in October, so it was fantastic. It was so phenomenal to listen to or read or whatever you want to call it, all of Ed and Lorraine's, you know, different stories and how they perceive the paranormal, because they're like one of the most credible ones. I think because so many people think and have different views of the paranormal and how energy works and this, that. I think Ed and Lorraine Warren and their thought process is a great way to like start looking as like a foundation. You know, how they talk about inhuman spirits, how they conduct themselves, and just, you know, it's the whole credibility factor. I mean, you know, they're being called in by the army. You know, they've got all these different tapes and everything, even back then. And I think that's the foundation that people should start doing the research on. That's just my opinion.
I agree, absolutely. Hell yeah.
I mean,
they were the pioneers.
Exactly. That's exactly what I say. They are the pioneers. I mean, who else was before them? I mean, if you look, maybe Tesla.
Hans Holzer.
Yeah.
Hans Holzer.
Yeah.
Was right around before at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. They're you know, if they're working,
they're looked as nut jobs back then. I mean, unless there's people that really needed the help.
Yep.
But now, you know, when you look back and they're being hired by the army, they're working with exorcisms, they're backed by churches. Like this is the credible stuff that you show people that are on the fence of like, is the paranormal even real? Do I want to get involved in it? And like there's like, wow, there's like, you know, mild cases and then there's inhuman spirits, and it's just like, wow, like if you ever had a doubt that you're just talking to walls in the dark for 8 hours, you know, you need to go do some research on them. And it's like, wow, I'm not crazy. You know, there's some, you know, sane people backing this. I don't know.
Well, definitely.
I felt validated when I listened to it.
Mm-hmm. Their documentary they just had on Travel Channel was really good as well.
Oh, it was.
When was that?
Yeah, it was good.
It was really good. You didn't.
No. When was it released?
You can probably get it on demand.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably on demand or on their app.
Yeah,
when was it released?
What was it called? It was the. I'll have to look it up and give it to you.
It wasn't the Devil something.
Yes.
Yeah, the Devil something. I can't remember what it is, but it's definitely on the Travel Channel on demand.
Yeah, I'm such a fan, so I'll definitely look at that.
Of all of the new TV shows that are out, I want to say my favorite so far are at this point I think it's Destination Fear.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's one of my favorites as well. That's coming back in October too.
It is.
Yeah, they're coming back in October.
It is.
Dakota. I want to say October 24th.
Dakota was on the show for his first season, and he's a good guy. He's a lot of fun, and man, I'm excited for this new season. Like it's like honest, and it's just like they're just kids. They're looking to have experiences. They don't even call themselves investigators.
Yep.
I think we lost him there.
Did he pop off the call?
Did you lose me?
Nope, there he is.
Hello?
Yeah, there you are.
Oh,
yeah, you cut out there.
I told you I got not good signal here. I was saying though, but they're very genuine with their experiences. You can tell in their expressions. That's why I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, when they go and they don't just do seclusions. Like they go and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go sleep alone in the most active areas of these buildings. I'm like, so here's me, guys. Okay, I'm going at the Hinsdale house, sleeping outside because I'm thinking it's the least active. I go in the Monroe house, I sleep in the safe room because it's the least active. I go if I go to places, I'm sleeping in the least active places. If they're like, hey, Sean, you want to be on the show and you're going to go and sleep in a really scary place, I'm going to be like, like, here's the thing, right? When you are in an active place and you're all by yourself, you just feel like you're surrounded by whatever this energy is that's around you. You can only take that so much.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, I've done that far too many times,
right?
And I've had some bad experiences doing it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not every time I do it. I think I'm so stupid. Why did I even do this? Because you're right. You can feel it. You can just feel the energy surrounding you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy.
Definitely.
But I would probably do it again. I'm probably gonna.
Yeah, you'll probably right.
But I don't like it. I didn't like.
Right. I have a rule where I don't like to do anything alone, and there's two reasons for it. Right. One, it's not as scary. All right, just
Yep.
keeping it real. It's not as scary. Two, I want someone to back up what I'm experiencing.
Yeah, oh yeah, you definitely do.
I don't want to be just my word. There's been more times than I'd like to count where I've had experiences and people are like, "Yeah, right, Sean, you're by yourself or whatever." So there's got to be someone there to back up your story, and also, what if something happens? Someone's got to. I mean, yeah, great. You have a walkie-talkie. What if you drop your walkie-talkie and you can't get to it? I don't know. There's a lot of reasons that I think that you should not go off alone, but I see why people do it. Because the whole idea is to have that experience and to learn from it. So I get it, but at the same time, it's not a good idea. But it is.
I would never recommend anybody to do that. See, my biggest problem is I like to challenge myself. And this is something that I've always been this way. So I always try to push my own paranormal limits one step further than I should.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't always work out good for me. But it's like, that's why I like sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I'll stay here the night by myself. I don't care. And then when I'm doing it, I'm like, God, I'm an idiot.
So go ahead.
Karma, she says, I'm a contractor and I posted a video of me doing an EVP session with a K2 meter in a 125-year-old home where I am convinced a murder took place, because in the video you can hear a giant blood stain. You can see the giant blood stain in the carpet, and I show the blood splatter on the walls, which I painted over. See, that's, I don't know. Are you at that point? Are you looking for it, or are you helping? I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I don't know. Just be careful what you ask for. That's all.
Definitely be careful what you ask for. Yeah.
Yeah. My group has basically two quick rules for investigating. Besides, just keep it professional, on some level, because we're probably going to be using this evidence, just to share with the community. But it's no provoking and no Ouija boards, and that's just a personal preference from what I've done research on and my experiences. But let me tell you something about doing like solo runs and duo runs. It was the first investigation I ever got to lead as the president of my college student organization, and the founder had just graduated, and I worked with him for a little bit, but he graduated. It was the first investigation of the semester, and I was able to implement this thing. I said it was at Farnham Manor. I said, what if we're all in the carriage house and we send duo and solo runs, depending on, if they feel comfortable to do solo runs or just duo runs, into the actual manor itself. And typically we have 10 people split up into 2 teams of 5. Everyone's got a role. And, we rotate them throughout the location. And then towards the end of the night, we like to do solos and duo runs, because we want to get that connection, with the spirits there, in case they're afraid of large groups, or in case someone doesn't have a personal experience. Hopefully they could have one that they can take with them for the rest of their life. And I think that's what we're going to be doing with the school. There's like a small portion of the school and a larger portion of the school, and then the nunnery by itself. So it's really 3 locations in one. And once we, take the 2 teams and, rotate them around, we're all probably going to stay in the small little school area, and then just send solos and duo runs, maybe 10, 15 minutes each, out to the 2 other locations. So hopefully we can get Sean's reaction to doing the solo run and the haunted nunnery, and hey, is anyone here? And the whole building starts to collapse and he's running out.
So, you guys ever see the? Let's see, what's a good one? Ectovisions with me going through the Licking County Jail with nothing but a camera and a laser grid for a light?
No.
Oh, I hightailed it, man. So I something spooked me, and so I was like, yeah. So I started off at the living area, and I walked through into the top floor of the jail, and so I'm walking through there, and I'm on the top area of the cells, and I heard a noise, something spooked the hell out of me, man. And so I just I don't know. I walked calmly down to the end, and then I started to walk down the next floor, down that hallway, and I was like, no. I turned around and walked, and so to say that I completed my walkthrough, I just went to like each floor in the doorway. I was just like, hello, and I turned around and walked away.
Oh yeah.
I was like, hello, all right, I'm done. And so I said I did it, and everyone they heard me yelling hello, but I guess I sounded more scared than I meant to. And so yeah, but they didn't show the whole thing. They just kind of showed, because Erik was very good with his editing. He don't want to make anyone look foolish unless Marcus Hogg is sneezing or if there's a bat at the Monroe house. But that's a whole other thing. I don't like bats. Bats, I don't know. Bats have rabies.
Yeah,
they fly.
yeah, they do.
I can deal with mice. I can deal with rats, but bats fly, and yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah,
So,
I've had plenty of bats flying at my face, and you don't see them till the last second when it's dark in there.
Right.
You see it right when it's about to hit your face,
right.
and then you got to dodge it.
Right, you got to dodge it while holding an expensive camera. That's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I always feel this personal responsibility as as the leader of the group, because there's a lot of people that maybe this is their first investigation, maybe their third investigation. I just don't want the investigation to be a dud. I know that there is a good statistical chance that maybe there's nothing there, or it's just not very active that night. And I'm not the one who's going to, provoke and try and agitate that. But, what I do want to do is, because they're going to walk away with the history of the location, which is great. They're going to walk away with the hard evidence if we find any photos, audio, or video. That's really cool. That's something that they can take with them for the rest of their life. But if it's the end of the night and not a lot has happened to them, oh yeah, you need to go on a solo run. You need to experience it. And it's a whole new experience. And it's because even if they went on one investigation, they're going to be like, that is such a cool experience I'm going to have for the rest of my life. And that's what I want, people to see.
They should.
Right. So I just noticed the time.
Wants to.
Yeah. I just noticed the time. I don't know what you guys have to do tomorrow, but I can keep going. Everybody that knows me knows I can keep on going. I just want to be respectful of everybody's time.
Yeah, no, whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay, cool. So I have a couple questions. So Brian, you had mentioned how you want to make sure everyone has a good time and you feel responsible for the people that are there since you're the team leader, which I get. I've led teams. I know that feeling. I've been on investigations where I wasn't the leader and I still felt responsible for people. So what if somebody on your team is having a spiritual experience that is out of your control? What do you do?
Well, me personally, if I didn't have somebody with me, I would make a phone call.
Define spiritual experience.
That's broad. It could be a lot of things.
Yeah, it's very broad.
It could be, there's just so many different ways. You'd be rushed by spirit. You could be deeply affected, like have a deep empathic moment. Or maybe it's a possession. Maybe it's a temporary possession type situation.
So the first thing that I do is get them the hell out of the building.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I do. Get them to some normal atmosphere.
Yeah. You know what I do? I have them go to a tree. Depending on how bad it is, yeah. I believe that trees are grounding and protecting.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
There have been times when I've shielded people on the spot and it's helped. So if I feel the need, I follow my gut instinct. But if you don't know what you're doing, you could be doing the wrong thing. So going to the tree, going outside, getting out of the area, making that phone call.
Yeah. So the two experiences I had was it was close to the last investigation that I was still a part of my university, and there was an individual who was doing a duo run with someone, and this individual was just freaking out because they were experiencing so much in the attic of Madison Seminary, and so him and the other team member, you know, of course they ran downstairs, and it was a cool experience because stuff happened, and I made sure that I was with that individual. Basically, I removed myself from the investigation. I sat there with that individual, and we talked for like 90 minutes. We went outside and we stayed the rest of the time in like the safe room, which was like our home base. And that's how, you know, you were moving from the situation. You talk to them, but that was like a few years ago. The most recent like spiritual, you know, things that I can't really control would be my brother was having those, you know, really deep emotional quote unquote attacks at Madison Seminary, and luckily I had a sensitive, like a psychic on the team who was able to help shield him and everything. And going forward, over the quarantine, you know, I was able to do some research, and, you know, I'm going to have some obsidian, a Bible, and a cross at our home base with every investigation. Just as, you know, like you said, you know, whether it's grounding, getting them outside, or just having that there.
Oh, I always have I have a little pouch in my backpack. And
yeah, you showed us at the mystery location, right?
Probably. So here's my backpack, right? Got my
Yeah.
So in here, hold on, I gotta find it. I've got my digital recorder, got a prayer book that I keep in here. Hold on, there's like stuff from the Paracon in here still. Ugh. My music box. All right, hold on. Wow, there's too much stuff in here. I thought it seemed like a good idea when I went to grab this. Well, here, holy water from my Catholic church that comes with me, and then here's my emergency sage.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll just to show you. That's my emergency sage. This is my home sage.
Oh, okay.
So I just take a little emergency. If you could see this big bag that's here, Eric.
Yeah.
I have a big bag, and I have my wands of sage too. I call myself the spiritual Catholic because that's what I am. So, but I also have my crystals over here too, and I'm a big believer. I believe that the higher power is all around us, and I believe that just like the good Bible says, God put everything on this earth that we may need, including crystals and stones. So
for sure.
So that's
for sure.
Yeah. So, but you never know, right?
You never know. Nope.
It doesn't matter if you're at some place that's been investigated a million times, like Ohio State Reformatory, or if you're at a private residence. You never know what's going to come across because you're calling come to you.
Yep.
And who
you
knows?
do never know.
Right. You never know what spirit's going to cross your path at that moment.
Nope, you don't. That's for sure.
So, Brian, you mentioned that you don't do Ouija boards.
I do not.
For your team. And given my personal experiences with the Ouija board when I was younger, honestly, with everything that I've done with scrying mirrors, dowsing rods, pendulums, EVP recorders, spirit boxes, right? Everything that you use to communicate, I've used. I've done Jacob's ladder, for energy, done it all, right? But I haven't done the Ouija board, and it wasn't because of me using the Ouija board. When I was younger, and this story that's in this book is not from me using the Ouija board. When I tried to use it, it didn't work when I tried to use it. But my sister and her friend using that Ouija board brought something into not only our home, our family. And it created an attachment to every single person that was living in that house or in that
that's crazy
at that time.
Wow.
I mean, that's just, and it wasn't that their intentions were to get something bad. I had a quick conversation with somebody on Facebook the other day. We were talking about Ouija boards, and I'm like, well, you know what? Honestly, is the Ouija board much different from everything else that I do? Probably
not. It's not.
Right. Not. So I think that it's about the intention.
It is.
Right? Your intention. Right. But your intentions need to be clear. So your intention can be, I only want to talk to good spirits. But how do you project that? You got to learn that. That's why you don't do these things without the proper research and education. Do not pick up a Ouija board without knowing what you're doing.
Nope.
Now, with that being said, Brian, or actually Eric, how do you feel? When was the last time you used a Ouija board?
I have probably used one once when I was a kid. I won't use them. I have some that I probably shouldn't have. But I have a collection that I probably shouldn't have.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I won't use them. I won't bring them to investigations. I won't provoke. I don't do anything like that. But I do agree with you. It is just another tool, just like our recorders and everything else that we're using to communicate with them. It's just another communication device. But there's a lot of bad things and negative things that can come from using the Ouija board. So I won't play with it.
I see people using Ouija boards, and I'm happy for them. I've actually watched an Into the Abyss podcast where this guy has a collection of them. Like I have some haunted dolls in the basement, but I mean, Sean was interviewing someone who had a huge Ouija board collection, and I was like, oh wow. It's one thing, and I agree with you. The 10 is everything, and it's probably safe. I just don't like the odds. I don't think the risk is worth the reward just for like an answer or like a yes or no question, depending on where the starts with the P, like the actual triangle. I'm so sorry.
Oh, the
planchette.
Where the planchette lands, whether it's yes or no question or it's spelling out. I don't think it's worth the reward, the risk, and you can have the intent and the intelligence and the education to use it. But if you're working with a team of 10 people, I don't know I don't know how to control their intentions, and I don't know how powerful the spirit is, and I might be able to control what's going on. But if there's a few weak links that don't have the right thought process or energy, I don't know. It's too much risk for me. But I'm happy that people use it, and I'm happy that people get results, and I'm happy that people have collections. It's just there's my power hungry portion of me, like having my own team. Like I get to impose my rules. I'm sorry.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. You need to make yourself comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a thing where we're dealing with the paranormal. I always tell, no matter whom I'm with, if you start to feel uncomfortable, let me know.
Yep.
You need to listen to that voice. You need to follow that instinct. If Ouija boards make you uncomfortable, then don't use them.
That's the big thing.
I don't care if someone else uses it. No. Would I rather them not use it around me? Probably. But I use literally everything else. I have tarot cards.
Yep.
Why Ouija boards?
Yep.
Now here's my kind of I always had like this theory, right? A long time ago, somebody asked me if watching the paranormal TV shows could invite a spirit into their house and make their house haunted or get an attachment on them. And I at first was like, no, that's crazy. Now here's the thing, right? When you're watching, it doesn't matter if it's a paranormal TV show or if it's a horror movie. You are watching it and you are opening yourself up to all these ideas and all these possibilities, and your imagination is going wild.
Yep.
Can you unintentionally open yourself up and make yourself more susceptible or maybe more of a target? Absolutely. And
yeah, I agree. I think so for sure.
If you are using the Ouija board and you're afraid and you have that idea in your head, you can unintentionally do that.
Yep.
That's why I don't use the Ouija board. I'm afraid of my unintentional intention, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm perfectly fine with those. But when it comes to that spirit board, I know what it's like to be attacked in my sleep.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I don't want to wish that upon anyone, and I don't want to do that. And what if me doing that? What if I don't have an experience, but me doing that brings on something to the next person? Then they aren't expecting it. I don't know. I totally like my ideas and my I think so far into this because there's so much that we don't know. What we do on an investigation affects the next person that goes in that room.
Oh, it definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if it's tomorrow or the next day. I mean, especially when you're in someone's home. Like, you don't go into someone's home and start provoking and then be like, okay, bye. You have fun dealing with whatever I just pissed off. I experienced absolutely nothing. So there's nothing in your house, but good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you just done pissed something off that now these people have to deal with it. And now they're calling another team.
Yeah. Yep. And even if
another Ouija board.
Right. 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 Or they're gonna do another Ouija board session, or they're gonna do another EVP session. I mean, these clients that are doing these things in their homes. Oh, my house is haunted, so I tried doing an EVP session. I saw it on TV, so all the investigators do it. Yeah, don't do that in your house. I don't do that.
Yeah, even if you had a team of 10 and they all said, "Oh, I'm totally down for it." What if one or two of them were just saying it because the majority were all good? They already had it out and everything, and they didn't want to. They still felt uncomfortable, but they didn't want to make a scene. And then one, you just made one of your valuable members feel bad, have a bad experience, a bad investigation. Two, with their intentions and their fear, what if their fear is strong enough to let something in, and then the whole team is compromised? It's just, I'm glad people enjoy it. It's just not something that I'm into.
Nope, me either.
Yeah. No, I mean, and like Eric, like you said, you don't provoke. I don't either. I see is that the difference between like the old school investigators and because it seems like a lot of these new investigators, they don't care. Like, do they? I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm old school. I don't pass judgment, but I worry.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like, I watched some of these. I'm like, what are you doing? That's crazy, dude.
I know it. Well, it's because they're watching these shows. That's what it is. They're watching the shows where they're doing on the shows.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about some of like the new social media where they're doing the dances and everything. Like, I wouldn't want to do like, weird dances like that. But that's, I
do TikTok, but I don't do the dances. I do barbecue videos.
Yeah, he does. Always on point.
I do, man.
Not on TikTok.
You're not?
I'm not on TikTok, no.
I'm not either, but
it's such an easy video editing platform. It's fun for me to do it. Like, I like to do it because I like to, I think it's cool to like show like like my barbecue smoking and playing some sort of music, or I can like take people like on a real quick walk through a little haunted park or something. That's the type of stuff I do. I'm not doing the dances. First of all, I can't dance. Nobody wants to see me dance. Third of all, I don't like to dance.
I would like to watch you dance. If you start doing the TikTok dances, I would watch those, Sean.
You burn your eyes out.
All right, I got something for you, Eric. And this is kind of like one of those little power hours where they ask you in this scenario 13 questions, because 13 is kind of like a unlucky or paranormal number here. I got 13 quick questions for you, and just try and answer them off the top of your head as quick as possible.
Okay.
All right. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Sean, why don't you pop his photo up here or something? I wish I was intelligent enough to do it on.
Oh, so this is where you're going to click on the brand button. It looks like the paint palette.
Oh, okay. Oh, no kidding. Wait, I just got to scroll down. Oh, yeah, there it is. All right. All right, you ready, Eric?
I'm ready.
What's the one piece of advice you give someone that wants to start in the paranormal?
I would tell them to go with somebody who knows what they're doing.
What are the 3 most important items to get before your first investigation?
For me, it was just a regular camcorder, a digital recorder, and maybe a spirit box. That would be for me.
First investigation, should they go to a private residence or a haunted prison?
Private residence.
Are Ouija boards safe or dangerous? Never mind, you already answered that. What's the best way to deal with noise contamination?
With noise cancellation, get the noise out of the place. But throw the noisy people out.
Pesky trains will just derail them. What are your feelings on daytime investigations versus nighttime investigations?
I know a ghost haunts at any hour, any time of the day. So going during the day can be just as active as during the night. I've witnessed it. So
how do you handle? Okay. How do you handle paradrama?
Oh, I'm a totally drama-free person. If you notice, I don't ever have any negativity on my Facebook at all. I just don't do it. I don't get involved, period.
Good. What are the differences between the spirits in, say, a haunted house versus a national forest?
Absolutely nothing.
What's the best kind of flashlight to use during a paranormal investigation?
I use red flashlights. I have a lot more success with them. Plus, they don't interrupt your night vision.
What's your favorite old school piece of equipment, such as a compass?
God, you know what? It's kind of weird to even say this, but I like the old bell and whistle kind of trick. So I'll put a bells on a string or something like that.
Nice.
I've always done all these, out of the box kind of ideas, and I've gotten some good results with them.
What's your most memorable investigation?
Oh my God, that's a really tough one because
We're getting out of the wire.
Oh my God, I can't say it quick. I'd have to say St. Albert, Bradford, Virginia.
Who's your favorite person to investigate with?
Probably John Zaffis.
And what's your favorite piece of evidence that you got?
Ever?
Yeah.
God, I can't even know. I have so many. Favorite piece. I've got to say a shadow figure one that I captured would probably be the best one that I've ever got. I have so many.
Where can we find that at? I want to see the shadow figure.
Yeah, I will. I have it on my computer. These are tough questions, though. There's so many.
Oh, dude, Brian's the best. That's
no. That's all.
But I shouldn't be stuff.
That's it. I'm like, I want to play. Like, we have your picture up here, and I'm like listening, and I'm like nodding, and I'm like reacting to your answers. I'm like, see, this is like now. I'm like, I feel like I'm on TikTok. I'm doing a reaction video.
Are you making a TikTok right now?
No, but
So I use this. What's that?
Oh,
13? I didn't even get to 13. You didn't say 13.
yeah. Where's?
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. The 13th one was like the are Ouija board safe or dangerous? So the total's 13.
All right, so I did 13. I wasn't counting.
You did do 13?
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't count.
Here's
We need to put our
here's number
hands up.
13.
Yeah, right.
Here's number 13, Eric. In your group, do you have different like roles? Like someone has the camera, someone has the audio recorder. Do you swap it around, or do you?
No, everybody has their own roles. Everybody's very well trained, and they already know what to do. So yeah, everybody has their own individual roles, and people do move up. You go through members sometimes.
Nice.
So people do, move up into different roles.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I have a cheat sheet of like, on your paranormal, I have a huge list of hot topics that, once every week I like to bring up a hot topic in the paranormal community. I have a ton of stuff on Paranormal 101, which is like how to start your paranormal adventure, and Paranormal 201, how to grow your existing one. So I just have like over 100 topics that I silently just picked a few, and from our conversation, I kind of just threw 13 together. So that was.
Oh, that was very clever. I had that one before. That was good.
Yeah. So there's your little power hour.
And this, my friends, is why I asked Brian to be my co-host.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. You guys are both.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's
Hey,
not, I've done a lot of shows, and you guys are, a lot different in a great way.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate
it.
it. We want this to be just like, we don't want this to be like uncomfortable. I've been on the other end. I've been where you're at. So I don't know. I think that I just kind of know the format that worked for me, that I enjoyed. So I just kind of, and really there isn't one. We just have fun, and we
yeah, that's what it is. And you guys are great together. Keep it going.
Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Absolutely.
So, Brian's messing with the settings here.
That was me. I thought we could push the photo somewhere.
Oh, that would be cool, huh? But
that's okay.
We would have to do like
it's no biggie.
I can do like one of these. It would be like a really small picture.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, 2 hours later, live and learn. So, what do you have coming up next? We talked about your existing projects with hunting the haunted.
Yeah.
We talked about Savannah.
It's such a cool logo. I love that logo.
Thank you. I appreciate that. My buddy, actually, the guy who's running my team right now, Kyle Palmer, look him up on Facebook. Good guy, loves the paranormal, die hard for it, but he does all the logos and stuff like that. He's real good.
So neat.
So so what you were saying, we were just out in Virginia City. Stephanie and I were just filming a pilot for a TV show in Virginia City. I can't tell you what it's called yet because they might change the name, and I can't tell you and too much more about it. But you should be looking for that at the beginning of next year.
Nice.
And I wish I could tell you more, but I'm obligated not to, contracted.
Right. Understand that.
But it's a lot of fun. We had a damn good time. It was my first time going to Virginia City, and we did the Washoe Club, Mackey Mansion, and the Bonanza Saloon, which was, oh man, it was so much fun.
That's cool. And the best part is when it actually airs, you could just come back on and talk to us about it. So
definitely.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'll come back on anytime you guys want. Like I said, you guys are great.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Definitely, you're welcome anytime. If you ever have anything you want to promote or whatever, or even if you just want to come on, just because.
Hell yeah.
Please let us know. I mean, man, I'm sure we could talk to you. You've investigated with so many different people and so many different places. This conversation could probably go on forever.
We're gonna need a few more parts.
Right.
And eventually, hopefully, get out there and investigate with y'all.
Oh, yeah.
That would be amazing.
You guys are welcome to Savannah anytime. I'll take you around here.
I would love it. It's just the thing is with the family, it's hard to go that far. Honestly, it's hard sometimes to go to Indiana or West Virginia or Pennsylvania at times with the family because I can't just go for days at a time. I mean that takes so much planning. It's ridiculous.
It really does.
Especially now with the COVID, nobody wants to babysit.
Yeah, that's the thing here. Nobody wants to do anything because of COVID.
That's true.
Yep, nobody wants to do nothing. Well, hopefully we'll eventually be over with that and somewhat back to normal.
Hopefully they'll go right.
Yeah,
we need things. Oh, we need the normality again because the things got way out of hand, and now it's
big time.
Yes. So now we just need for the next couple months to fly by. I want to enjoy Halloween, but let's fly past the rest of the drama that we all know is coming, which is election, and then and then we can get into the holidays and then get on with our lives, and hopefully the COVID will go away.
Yeah,
my kids. Mike, everyone is talking about, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse with the kids going to school. My county's numbers, I can only speak for my counties because I only follow my county's numbers. They went down.
Yep, good.
So,
very good.
So, yeah, they're doing something right in our county. So
they're doing something right.
Hopefully.
That's good.
At least they're saying that they are.
Yep.
That's all we can go by, what they say. So, that's awesome, man. I look forward to your new project. I look forward to your third season of your show, The Hunting the Haunted. Hey, no problem. Guys, go check out the YouTube channels. The links are scrolling across the tickers, so you can go to both Hunting the Haunted and you can go to Erik's personal page, and you can see some of the links. You can. That Christine video that we watched, I only had time because I was working throughout the day. I only had time to watch about half of it. But it's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's very unique. That's why I liked it so much. You know, you don't see stuff like that very often.
No.
So it was a very cool experience, and it is good. And please, people, go look and find that handle and tell me the time.
Yeah, and my favorite part about the Facebook page and the YouTube is that there's so much content there. You almost get lost into figuring out what you want to enjoy next.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of different channels, it all looks the same, it all blends in. But I assure you, I mean, every title is grabbing, and then once you click on it, it's so professionally done that it's its own adventure, and you can just get sucked in there for hours. Just consuming that content. So it's a really good one.
Hell yeah. We're definitely going to have to do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll keep my eyes and my ears open, but please don't be please reach out. I tell everybody, reach out. The thing is, I usually wait until about around this time of month to start scheduling shows. I've already got through October done, and that only happened since Sunday.
All right, very nice.
So it happens quickly.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So, which we're very blessed for. Real quick, next week, speaking of, we have this man coming back on for round 2. This is Robbie Thomas. He is he's a psychic. He helps the police investigators. He calls himself a psychic criminal profiler, and he's got the book out that I was so impressed with him the first time he came on the show. I purchased his book immediately after the show. So he's coming on for a round 2. We're going to talk about his book. These cases that he did are crazy. So it's going to be another good show. And here, real quick. Oh my goodness. And then we're into October.
Yeah.
We're already into October. This is insane. Okay. So then October 7th, we are going to not only dive into MadCon 3 a little bit more, but we're also going to be talking about Our Haunted Minds with RU Media's own Erik McGill and David Wolver. They are our bosses here on RU Media. It's going to be a good show. We have Matt Phil coming on, and the rest of his team from Gateway Paranormal. And then we have Dan Claes coming on. We have Matt Benton coming on. So that'll be a fun show. And that's our Halloween month, guys. It's an awesome Halloween month. And hopefully we'll bring in November with another very special guest that we are working on. So I don't know. That's the house cleaning I have for now.
Yeah, we're excited.
Very cool.
Awesome. So, Erik, real quick, is there anything else you want to plug before we go ahead and end the show for the night?
No, I'm good. Just go and subscribe to both those YouTube channels if you get a chance. Keep a watch out. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, obviously Facebook, and don't be strangers. Hit me up.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Yes, go to the YouTube channels. If you do a search for Erik Knapp, you'll find him. You can do Hunting the Haunted TV. That'll come up that way.
Haunted TV.
Yep. So you can find it very easily. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell for the notifications. It helps, and make sure to comment too. Please help someone. And especially in the Christine one, notate where you see that doorknob handle. I'm gonna
timestamp
it. It'll blow your minds.
I'm gonna be watching for it. That's the type of stuff that we do this for. So that's awesome.
Exactly. And the funniest part I said before is, and when you don't even notice it until after the fact, that's what blew everybody's mind. On the crew, we're all like, how can we not see that?
Yeah. Oh man,
go find that.
It's so cool when stuff like that happens though. And then there's times when you'll have someone watching one of your shows or one of your videos and be like, hey, did you see this at this?
Yep, exactly.
Wow, no, I didn't see that. But holy cow.
It's always better to have a second pair of eyes.
Always.
Yep, for sure. Thank you guys so much, though. I really appreciate it. And I will definitely come back and keep in touch with me. I will keep in touch with you guys as well, okay?
Definitely.
Perfect, Erik.
Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.
Hey, thank you.
Nice night.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Good night. And everybody else, have a great rest of your week. Hope we helped you guys over the hump that is Wednesday. Please come in next week. Again, Robbie Thomas, he's a really cool guy. He's got new projects that we're going to be talking about too. You can see all the stuff that he's done. He's done a lot. So make sure to check that out. Coming next week. Brian, do you have any house cleaning to do before we end up?
No, we're just excited. And of course, with Scary Game Saturday coming up, we'll go ahead and post that on our page. We're excited. So it'll just be me and Sean. So look forward to that. But yeah.
Look forward to see the picture. Like, what pose did you get me in? Is it this?
Oh
pose?
yeah, all of them.
The hame.
All of them.
Nice.
It's all good. I promise.
My Super Saiyan energy ball in there.
It's gonna be great.
Guys, I watch anime. I got my daughter into anime, so I'm a weeb. All right. With that, guys, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Stay healthy. If you have anything you want to promote, a book, a show, and anything you want to come on, talk to Paranormal, come on, hit us up. We'll have you on the show. You can find us on Facebook. You can even message RU Media. I see those messages on RU Media. You can, but I would highly suggest reaching out to either Brian or I personally, preferably on the Facebook. You can email. We need to come up with an email. We need to do an Our Paranormal email.
We will.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Look for an Our Paranormal Podcast at gmail.com, possibly.
On it.
And there's more to come. So keep your eyes and ears open for us here at Our Paranormal, because we have all sorts of things in store for you here.
Perfect.
Everyone, have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and please let's be kind and support each other.
Have a good night, everyone.
And another special thank you to Erik Knapp, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was.
All right. I'm gonna do one quick run through the mess. Okay. Nick. Thank you, Nick, brother. And with that, we will bid you adieu. Everyone, have a good night from us at Our Paranormal and RU Media Network.